Ages ago, the humans of a dwindling Earth sent 3 massive colony ships through a space-time fissure on the outer edges of the solar system. 2 of those ships survived the trip and arrived in a far-flung star system with habitable worlds and unknown constellations. Those early Terran colonists uncovered ancient alien technology that allowed them to develop the mighty reactors that would power the backbone of their culture, the Mecha. These massive, mechanized exosuits built the cities and settlements of a new home spread through the livable planets and moons surrounding the newfound yellow giant star, which would come to be known as Lodestar Alpha. It was during this time that the people of Lodestar Alpha experienced a sort of golden age. 3 seed ships were sent out in an attempt to expand and discover new habitable star systems before what had happened to Earth could happen again. The colonists live in relative peace for centuries, united under the rule of a noble clan called the Neo-Dominion. Then, without warning, the 3rd colony ship arrived through the space-time rift, several centuries late. Commanding unfathomable alien technology, these newcomers called themselves the Aeonic Primacy, and immediately set to work conquering and subjugating the people of Lodestar Alpha. Though human, the Aeons were alien in their methods and motives, and they quickly overpowered the militarized forces of the Neo-Dominion through the use of an ancient portal system called the Varillian Tunnels. The first of these seed ships, Nishimura, departed Lodestar Alpha over 3 centuries ago and was primarily composed of engineers, scientists, and mecha pilots. After learning of the Aeon's takeover, it was on this ship that the Saber program was born. Much has changed on Lodestar Alpha since the Nishimura's departure, and as the first of the seed ships return home, they discover that the remaining Neo-Dominion have fully integrated with the Aeons and are actively at war with the splintered remains of the Terran Collective. The war-torn system is clinging to the little hope that remains to restore peace and order as the Aeons tear through one planet after another, stripping them of their resources and leaving nothing but destruction in their wake. The elite pilots that make up the Saber programs are needed now more than ever as something ancient and sinister awakens. The Nishimura successfully made it through the space-time rift, and our young pilots were deployed when an Aeon scouting party began to attack. During the battle, Saber Unit 12 crippled 2 Gygas-class ships using EMP technology. The lives of tens of thousands of civilians were lost, and at the official graduation ceremony, the pilots realized the weight of their responsibilities as protectors, as well as the sheer might of the Aeons. With inter-party tensions building and the stakes higher than ever, can our pilots hold it together long enough to face the threats before them?
Haha, you can hear me now. Hello, beautiful people. How are we doing this evening? We are going to be diving into session 3 of our Mecha Hack campaign here in just a moment. So, with that being said, you guys saw the intro video? We are coming out of our last session where we had some inter-party conflict and gonna kind of be dealing with some of that tonight. It's gonna be a good time. I got lots of fun stuff in store for tonight. So without further ado, we are going to go ahead and pop right on over, say hello to our players, and have them introduce themselves once again, and we will get started.
JD.
No, I'm actually proud of it.
Bull's like this big, chat. It's
The
like
bowl is bigger than your whole body.
I like salad, okay?
We
talk
are
about
live.
eating a literal head of lettuce.
Guys.
You could fit your whole head
Salad's bigger than
it's like
his body gives
a
it
head and a half of romaine. I do this every Monday.
Uh,
Love salad.
The chaos.
Romaine was such a nice guy, though. I can't believe you ate half of him.
in there. I told JD earlier.
Wait, you saving the other half for later?
What?
Yeah. Put them in the freezer.
Guys, we're live.
Hello.
How's it going?
You're making fun of me for eating salad.
Romeo.
No one knows.
Hey, you know what? Salad is amazing. We love salad. Beauty. We love it. Okay, so
Thank you, sir.
without further ado, We should probably get into some introductions. Our squad captain, Rusterbrooks, unfortunately is not able to join us this evening. He had some personal stuff come up and was unable to join us this evening, but he insisted the show must go on. So we are here. We are going to have a good time still, and we will be excited to welcome him back hopefully next week. So we will start our introductions with our friend Jack. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, and who you're playing.
Howdily doodly neighbor. I am Jack Jacos TV, and don't even. I am Jack Jacos TV. I am the pack leader over at Twitch TV/Jack Jacos TV. You can find me on most of the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all under the tag Jack Jacos. I'm very much so happy to be here this week, and I'm gonna try not to die at least 3 times tonight.
And remind us who you're playing.
Oh, I am Quinn, codename Deceiver. Sorry, codename Deceiver. And I'm ready to get some chains on some stuff tonight. Let's go.
There we go.
Gonna be off the chains, yo.
Did we just fall into the 90s again? Oh god.
I mean, it fits his character.
Yeah, you know, you're not wrong. JD, go ahead and give us an introduction.
This entire thing is like 90s mecha anime.
Right?
It is, and it's great. Hey, I'm JD.ST, and you can find me on all social media as JD.ST, variety streamer over on Twitch, and I'm playing Lightryder. And I hope that you're doing good. So, yeah, I'm excited. Let's go.
Sweet. Alrighty. Theo, give us an intro. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, and who you're playing.
So I am Theo from Theobald's Gaming, just simply at Theobald's Gaming, all one word, on Twitch and Twitter. You can come join the dojo there or not. That's up to you. But I am playing Ralph, codename Romeo. And yeah, so let's get into this craziness. And then we got Mashi.
Yep. So last but not least, Mosh, tell us who you are, where we can find you, and who you are playing.
Hey guys, I'm MoshXD. You can find me on Twitch and on YouTube as MoshXD, and I'm playing as Signus, also known as Saber Joker.
Alrighty, I want to take a moment to do a few shout outs to some folks who have given us toasts.
Hoorah.
Who have given us toast.
I
They
want
have given
toast.
us
I'm hungry now.
toast.
Come on.
Should have made fun of my salad.
So thank you for that toast. That's just gonna be a thing now, guys. So thanks for the hosts, Sin, Infinite KJ, and Rash. Thank you guys so much. Love y'all. Welcome to the Strum. So
Rash the Stash.
Rash the Smash is in chat, guys.
I called him the Stash. Rash the Stash.
As long as he doesn't smash my head, it should be fine.
All right.
Fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Everything's gonna be okay.
Everything is fan-friggin-tastic. Okay, so.
Mashi's in his cocoon / straight jacket. So
I know. Someone in my chat said the blanket is a power move, and I totally agree.
Really is. Mashi had a long day today, and he's tired and cold.
Yeah.
He's locked up.
I
So.
wish.
We're doing toast. Toast is now a thing, guys.
Lole.
All right, so we open after a tense evening among crewmates. In the aftermath of the prior day's events, the somber tone of the Nishimura permeates even here in the military district. Despite this, the people aboard the Nishimura are setting up for a very important holiday, the Lantern Festival. A celebration in which the lost are given homage and lingering souls are sent to the afterlife to find peace. There will be feasting, music, and dancing in preservation of traditional customs. You also know that there are mech duel events taking place during the festival, and that the prizes are typically quite grand.
I pulled pro streamer move. Hold on, my headset's dying.
No, not the headset.
No!
This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, but the music's intense.
It's really good, yo.
It is.
Ping pong, pongy pong.
Oh, wait, are we good, Theo? We good?
We're good. We're
Okay.
good. We're good.
So, flyers are being passed out in all districts as Captain Hawkins and Ralph accompany Signus as he is escorted to the ship's CIC, as well as within the barracks, where Lightryder and Quinn have retired as Quinn is still recovering. We're going to start with the trio that's headed to the CIC. You're sure you haven't had to walk this far since the early days of your pilot training. You walk from the engineering departments, past hydroponic farms, and into the residential areas. You saw the ship from the outside yesterday, but you're still having issues grasping the sheer size of this structure. As you're walking, you hear the beeping of a pager. And as Captain Hawkins glances down at it, he exhales and turns to the two of you and says, "Unfortunately, I have to take leave of you. I'm needed for something urgent with the research division." And he separates his path from where you all are going.
I say nothing and continue having a cold look on my face, like I know what's going to happen.
Ralph's just kind of. Ralph's just going to basically nod to the captain, but keep following Signus as he's escorted in silence. Not really sure what's going to happen, but just wanting to make sure that things are resolved.
Right. As you make your way through the lower residential district, this seems to be the place where the most casualties were suffered. And Ralph, as you're doing so, your head begins to throb. You hear your heartbeat in your ears, and you don't know why. They begin to ring, and your vision goes blurry, and you feel your consciousness begin to slip. And I'm going to need everyone except for Ralph to deafen, please.
Oh, my.
Oh, goodness. Okay,
I don't have a button for that.
Yeah, let me press a button.
Just go to the
You can
bottom of your
press it in
Discord
Discord.
window and just hit the headphone.
I can also do it. There you go. There we go. Okay, cool.
Actually, you might need to deafen us, Fraz, so that we'll know when to undeafen it.
Okay, yeah, I'll just do that. I'll just server deafen
Sorry.
you guys. You're good. So,
There we
yeah, we'll just server deafen. Now, keep in mind, you're not muted. You're just deafened. So, bear that in mind.
Earmuffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me, sorry. You ready?
So this is DM Whisper time.
Yep, DM
All right.
Whisper time. Are you ready?
I don't know. Am I?
I don't
I'm
know.
not
We're
ready
gonna
for
find
this.
out. Okay.
I have a feeling like I should be taking notes here, so I'm pulling that up. Okay.
You can.
Okay.
All right. Your vision shakes, blurred. Your eyes sting from the sweat and blood pouring into them. Looking out, you see the broken terrain of a battle fought and lost. The warmth of blood rushes down your arms, but is disrupted by the cold weight of something else. Your eyes focus down, and in your arms you hold a woman. Her face doesn't come into focus, but she is familiar somehow. As you see your hands frantically trying to grasp her lifeless form, you see the shine of a ring, the only thing shining in this darkness. And with that, your vision snaps back to the present as a cold sweat pours from your brow. Okay. Ah! Flashbacks are fun. Mashi, you can undeafen.
He can't hear you.
Yeah.
Wow, wait. He heard you say you can undeafen.
Oh, he undeafened, I think, as soon as I said it. And Jack is deafened, but he's not server deafened. So.
Gotcha. All right, so.
So.
All right, I'm just gonna catch up with something while you narrate the next bit, or do I have any reaction to do right now?
If you have a reaction to this happening, you're more than welcome to do it. Otherwise, if you're just trying to kind of stay stoic and
I mean, Ralph, obviously then a little bit shaken by whatever flashback just hit him, whatever recollection, seems to have been more than just a passing remembrance. Very visible upon his shaven head that he's been sweating a bit from that. Very glistening, and he just kind of lags behind the party a little bit.
Has my character noticed like that Theo stopped or Ralph stopped and like maybe just distanced himself away?
I think that you said that you kind of are putting a little bit of distance between you and the rest of the escort, Theo.
So Ralph just kind of like lagged behind a little bit and just kind of catches himself, just and then catches back up with the rest of the party.
Okay. All right. So, Maj, I would say yes, Signus would notice that Ralph kind of has not necessarily stopped, but definitely slowed his pace and looks a little paler than usual and has a bit of sweat dripping off his brow.
Okay. So I want to at least talk to Ralph, say like, look, man, if you're not feeling all right, it's all right. I can take this on myself.
You're muted. Yeah.
I think he's busy talking to his chat.
Is he talking to his chat or is he trying to reply to you?
I was muted.
I was trying to figure that out.
Okay.
Lol.
So sorry, it's bound to happen.
Streamers in the chat, guys.
It's bound to happen once a session is played. So no, Signus. Captain had to leave. I am here. I will make sure everything is going all right, and I will report to Captain.
I appreciate it, buddy.
I love that so much.
I love the
I love
accent.
your voice so much, Ralph. It's so good.
Voice?
Sorry,
Voice?
it's so good.
Are you saying the voice, or you're like, am I forgetting the mute?
You ever feel
The
like
wrong
you need
button.
to, like, oh, just go, dude. Don't worry about me.
Both.
And then after that, I just stop talking and just go back to being silent.
Okay.
Well, Ralph's still gonna tag along because feels he owes a duty to anybody in trouble in the unit. So he's not gonna talk anymore about it, but he's gonna be along.
Okay.
So.
All right. So with that, from the residential district, you are brought through back alleys and side streets until you reach what seems to be a dead end. One of the MPs reaches into their pocket and pulls out a device not completely dissimilar to your pagers. He holds it out in front of the innocuous wall, and you pause for a moment as nothing seems to happen. Then you hear a voice. Temporary clearance granted for Saber pilots Romeo, Joker. Please stand by. And as... Go ahead. Go ahead, Signus.
I just let out a sigh. Just preparing myself to get ready to walk in, so
yeah.
So getting all serious.
Yeah, so the wall itself, which is as far as you could tell, was just a brick wall, kind of comes back and down and slides over to the side, revealing an elevator. Stepping on, you stand together in a tense silence, and the elevator begins its ascent. Slowly at first, but increases speed exponentially. It slows to a stop, but the doors don't open, and instead it begins to move horizontally at a breakneck pace. You all grab onto the sides of the elevator to steady yourself until it again slows to a halt.
I just close my eyes as all this is happening, just getting my thoughts together.
Okay. The elevator doors open with a ding, and you are escorted off the elevator and into what could only be the CIC. Computer monitors buzz. Do what?
As we arrive, as the ding happens, I just open my eyes.
Okay. Computer monitors buzz with life, and there's a constant chatter that permeates the air. One side of this room is a massive screen. On it, you see a detailed map of Lodestar Alpha. You recognize the symbol of the Terran Collective pinged over several planets on the map. You can also make out the bottom left corner what looks to be some kind of new weapon. You can't make out what it is, but before the screens go dark, you can make out the words heavy mass cannon. A woman with dark skin red curly hair in a fishtail braid that hangs over her shoulder and an eye patch over her left eye greets you. Hello. Welcome to the Combat Information Center. My name is Seno Ren. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm the lead strategist of the Nishimura, and I will escort you to Director Akita and the rest of the council.
I still have the cold look on my face, and I just nod.
Ralph's gonna stand there, kind of just towering over people as he do, and just kind of nod as well. But when he saw the heavy mass cannon description, he just kind of can't help but keep glancing back. Just that whole thing about big guns distracting him again.
Yeah.
If I notice him getting distracted, I just throw a little smirk.
The screen in and of itself where that particular screen was blinked to a close, so unfortunately the only thing that remains on the map or on the massive screen is the map of Lodestar Alpha. She glances at each of you and her demeanor changes immediately from warm and welcoming to cool and harsh as she smiles. Remember, anything you see in this room stays in this room. You've been granted temporary level 6 clearance for this meeting only. If you divulge any information about what you've seen here today, it is considered high treason, and you will be punished accordingly. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
As a joke, I say no. No, really, I'm brain dead. I know what I'm doing. And then I just shut up again and just have a cold look on my face.
I understand why you're here now. Makes a lot of sense. All right, excellent. Please follow me.
Oh, wow.
She is...
Just butterscotch.
So, the MPs that came with you did not step out of the elevator, and Seno gives them a nod of dismissal, and the elevator dings again as it makes its retreat. You are escorted to a conference room where 2 people are standing as a door on the other side closes. You recognize one as Director Akira, the other is a man. He is pale. He has black hair with a streak of white and wears goggles where one side seems to have magnification capabilities. They are in the middle of what seems to be a heated conversation as they're looking over some blueprints. Seno clears her throat. Director, Dr. Seneo, I have brought Joker as requested. His fellow pilot has accompanied him, and they have been given a proper temporary clearance and warning as you requested. And she bows and leaves the room. They both kind of give you a once-over. Dr. Seneo brings his goggles up so that he can look at you more clearly. He rolls up the blueprint that they were poring over. I shall take my leave, Director. Pilots, good work out there. Get this shit figured out. And he turns and goes through the door that you saw closing as you entered.
I bow respectfully and then scoff at him.
Ralph's just going to kind of shake his head at Joker, knowing that, you know, it's maybe not the best course of action to keep being so derisive.
The director watches him leave, waits a beat, looks down and shakes her head, looks up at you. What in the hell were you thinking?
Well, it wasn't me that walked into someone's lab without proper clearance and just decides to get blasted by a shit ton of security. If I haven't done that, one, he probably would have gotten blasted by everything else that was. And second, I'm pretty sure based on our contract that we have at least a courtesy of knocking before you enter my lab.
You do realize that I have complete override on all of the implements in your lab, right? You realize this, right?
Now I do.
Safety precaution. As well as everyone in your unit has the proper clearance needed to access pretty much everything in the engineering department. It's part of being a pilot. It's part of being in the Saber program. Your course of action against a fellow pilot, one in your unit, one who has been with you since day one, inexcusable, and I am so disappointed. You're damn lucky that nothing else happened. You're lucky that Quinn didn't go off completely off the handle. I've seen it before, and it's not pretty. I understand that you need your privacy, and I gave you the clearance to be able to have that. However, if this is going to continue to be a problem, I can have that clearance revoked. I don't want to. I don't take joy in doing these things. But the pilots in your unit are your family, and they are your life. You live and die by the actions that you take. So are you truly ready to sit here and tell me that you would rather attack someone who you have trained with most of your life when they clearly were just trying to get a rise out of you? You know Quinn. You know he can't control himself half the time.
Then why not have someone watch over him so he doesn't do it again?
He is.
So Ralph's going to kind of straighten up a little bit more, look towards the director. Director, if I may say something.
Please.
Director, this was our first live combat action, and I believe that everybody's tensions were running high. And just like any family, brothers will be brothers and fight. We were all there. We will all make sure this never happens again. Won't we, Signus?
Yes, Ralph. I agree. I'll never do this again.
I want you to understand something, Signus.
Yes, Director.
I brought you on because I know what you're capable of. And you have helped us in ways that we can never begin to repay you for. I also brought you on knowing damn well that you're a loner and you are going to be forced to work with a team. However, in the same stroke, Quinn is in a similar situation. Respect above all else. Am I understood?
Yes, Director.
Very well. As of now, for the next 24 hours, you're on a temporary deployment freeze. And for the next 48, your lab will be overseen by an MP. That is all. You're dismissed.
Yes, Director.
Yes, ma'am. Signus, let's get out of here.
Let's go, Ralph.
Seno meets you at the door and escorts you back to the elevator. She doesn't say a word. She just sits there and smiles and kind of... She has a tablet in her hand that she's kind of fiddling with the whole time, but doesn't make eye contact, just is smiling the whole time.
Am I able to observe what she's doing on her tablet, or is that a
Nope.
bit of a secret? Nope. Got it.
It has
She's holding that thing pretty close. You're not seeing
well,
nothing.
not only that, it's less of that and more of it has like a screen like the way that the screen works is that it's like can't be observed by anything outside of like a certain angle.
Low view angle LCD.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Question: do I get chills as she's smiling when she's looking at that tablet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It is not a this is a nice day smile. This is a you're lucky that I didn't fucking kill you when I saw you smile.
What does that smile happen to look like?
I feel like it's the smile of the Cheshire Cat from like Alice in Wonderland.
Oh wow, that's scary.
Ooh.
I just
Ralph
control
was
myself, not
thinking
saying
about
anything.
telling Signus to kind of keep his eyes forward, but then he remembered looking at the mass cannon panel and shakes his head to himself. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Like no.
Question: do we have like an internal comlink where I can talk to Ralph without other people or like hearing our conversation?
I mean, in the elevator, like it's just a comm link. Like it's not like telepathy.
It's not like think it, hear it.
Yeah, it's not telepathy, unfortunately.
Got it.
Yeah.
Music got a little loud. Let me tone that down.
Yeah, I don't know why this one in particular is like so loud, but we're gonna change it anyway.
It's just got a high dynamic range is all. It's awesome, but it's got a high dynamic range.
Yeah, this is fine.
So she's with us in the elevator as well, right?
Yeah. It's you two and Senno Ren.
All right. I'm gonna just be open about it, and I just like let go of the tough, cold act, and I'm like, Ralph, there's a lot of shit I wanted to say, man. There was a lot of shit I wanted to say.
And who did you need to say it to, friend?
I don't know, man. I'm just pissed that people I'm not good with people just walking in willy-nilly into my laboratory. That's just not me. Like, laboratory is my happy place. Chill, tinker with stuff. But so much shit I wanted to say, man. I wanted to pop off. But I feel like it's better if I didn't.
So, you know, we all have our happy places where we need to be, but aren't those places best shared with family? We've been on this ship for a long time together now. Been through a lot. We're all here for each other, and if you can't trust your family, who can you trust?
Man, it's just that I've been used to working all alone. Life in the slums wasn't easy for me.
We are here in a new sector of space. It is unknown to us. The only thing we do know is we are outnumbered. We will not survive by ourselves. We must all rally together.
That is true, Ralph. But no matter what, even if I do go off on you guys, it's not the intentions of trying to kill you. No matter what, I will never let anything happen to you guys, but there's certain things in regards that I haven't just to keep myself. I don't like feeling vulnerable. I don't like feeling weak. I don't like allowing other people in.
So, just remember, you're only as weak or as strong as our weakest link. So, if you're feeling weak, then we are all weak. We must know where each other's strengths and weaknesses are to back them up. I don't remember much of my past, but the one thing I do know is that I will never let anything happen to the people close to me again. That goes for you, it goes for Quinn, Lightryder, and even the captain. So what do you say, friend? I was gonna smack him on the back, probably a little too hard. Let's get some drink and some food and relax.
I do the same after taking that hit. I just like, I do the same back to Ralph, but it doesn't even. It just tickles him probably.
That's the
like,
spirit.
And then I talked to the what was her name again?
Her name is Senno.
So I talked to Senno and I bowed down. Apologies for my behavior earlier. And I don't say it in a friendly tone. I say it in more of a serious, not like an angry tone, but like a distant, like wary of her kind of tone. but still respectful and a little bit cold.
She puts the tablet down, turns to you. Well, I can't currently accept your apology.
That's perfectly fine. You don't need to.
I can say that I respect you enough to appreciate the fact that you were able to humble yourself finally and take a moment to apologize. Remember that. Humility and respect is what will get you far on this ship. And with that, the elevator, ding, opens back into the side alley.
As we walk out, I just want to like throw a little snarky remark. Respect is earned, but it's not given.
She bows her head, pulls her tablet back up, and smiles over the top.
Just when I'm starting to like Signus for like 10 seconds again, he goes and does that.
It's my personality, man.
He's got his own way.
Signus, at least bring it in for 5 seconds, will you?
I feel the chill. I feel the chill go down my spine. We're gonna be getting along real well, aren't we?
Is that to Ralph or to?
Senna.
Okay.
She's just smiling as the walls come to a close. She doesn't respond. Yes, my child. All right.
Cygnus is going to get his face slashed open at some point. I think that's what's going to happen.
Gotta be from me.
Man, listen, I'm an insane psychopath, man. Look
You're
at
gonna have to
Joker's-
beat me to it.
Tag team?
How am I gonna beat you? To be an
Tag
insane
team,
psychopath,
right?
baby?
No, I think he
JD comes in,
meant.
just whoop, whoop.
I think he meant saying that.
I was talking. I was
yeah.
answering Quinn. I was answering Quinn.
Yep. I was in candy
My character's
dispenser.
asleep right now. That was JD
Mine's having a
interjecting.
mental breakdown.
Lightryder is asleep. That was me going, Lord.
So
He woke up in a dead sleep, and he's like, Signus.
So while that
Damn yous, Signus.
Damn you,
Damn
Signus.
yous all to hell. And then I go back to sleep.
The drama. The drama. Such
This is like,
theatrics.
Going to start calling JD the drama llama.
JD, what are you talking about?
JD, the drama llama.
Sickness. We would be shooting people right now if we weren't on Days of Our
blazing.
Sickness.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
Hey Ralph,
Yes, Cygnus.
let's go back to our room. I think I got another extra special bottle of little bit of alcohol. It's probably better than the one that we had. You want to try it out? Probably get Quinn a bit more
But
drunk.
let's get some food on the way. It's not good to drink on an empty stomach.
Quinn and I have already drank all of it. We took it, and that's what we've been drinking. So.
No. See, the problem
just
is,
kidding.
it's a bit more of a secret stash.
Secret stash.
Man. Yeah.
Oh, it's not the stuff that you had on the shelf.
No,
the
it's a secret stash.
It's a secret stash, man.
Okay.
It's the good stuff.
Yeah. So, while all that was happening, Lightryder, Quinn, you have the bunk room to yourselves. Quinn,
yeah?
Don't make it weird, Quinn.
Quinn, you're still pretty shaken, but your senses are starting to come back, and that feeling of numbness is beginning to subside.
Wait.
He had JD, really.
Oh,
Do we need to recap from last episode again?
It's hot.
Okay, sorry.
JD.
I know nothing.
I swear to God.
Get in that bromance.
It wasn't the way that all worked out wasn't my fault. It wasn't Quinn's dead. It wasn't my fault. That was just.
Jack's freaking dying over there.
I'm sorry. I'm
Whose button
very.
is that? I love it.
What, the burp?
It's hot.
Oh, that's
That's
JD.
the one.
That's me.
That's JD.
That's me.
That's hot.
Oh, okay.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh yeah.
It's hot. It's hot.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh,
hot.
Franz, I thought you got up and
It's
walked
hot.
away. I didn't know you just kind of like crumpled into
No,
non-existence.
we're just laughing. Okay, okay.
All right, back to the game.
It's
Oh,
not
let's
that
rate it
type
in.
of show.
Let's rate it in.
I'm not feeling cold no more.
Not that
so
type of show.
I probably couldn't have done that, but oh well.
Okay, I know my stream is 18 plus, but come on, guys.
You're the one that said it.
Oh, you know what?
The Nil says this is so much better to listen to than science class. Yes,
Truth.
it is.
Truth.
I'm sure. Truth.
You're
All
gonna
right.
do-
In any case,
Serious.
in any case,
I'm sorry.
reining it back in, the two of
I blame
you,
Jack.
the two of you have the bunk room to yourselves. Like herding cats.
I went to sleep. What do you mean we have the bunk room to ourselves? I came back pissed off. I think Signus is a D-bag, and I went to sleep. Done.
Okay,
I'm
so
in mental distress. So
Lightryder
Yeah, Quinn's
is asleep
like-
and
Quinn's like-
Quinn is like mentally
Quinn's in a
recovering.
corner, like just rocking
Fetal
back
position.
and forth. There's
Fetal
nothing I can
position.
do. As usual, Hawkins is nowhere to be found, so I just go to sleep.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
You know what, Ralph? I feel like we should get some food for the guys at the end of the bunks. How much do you think we should take?
a massive bowl of salad.
Sorry.
All of it? I mean, come on. I'll eat half of it myself.
Massive
what?
bowl of salad.
Fuck it, let's go.
The biggest salad. So. Oh my god, Jack is literally dying.
I just inhaled
Don't
coffee.
die, Jack.
Oh no.
Wrong tube.
Wrong
Hey,
too.
Ralph,
Jack,
wait.
we need you.
Had a bone in it.
Oh
Jackie,
my God.
come back. Had a bone in it. Coffee had a bone in it. What kind of coffee is that?
Wow.
The
what
kind
are we
with bones in
talking
it.
About?
Oh my god.
Okay, alright. Let's try and bring this back. Let's try and bring this back
Alright,
in.
What is Quinn's
Ooh.
favorite food? And what about Lightryder? What is
So-
Apparently, bone, something with a bone in it.
Okay, so bring it back in.
What?
So, I mean, I
Just-
don't really like.
Lightryder, he needs a sandwich. I don't know about Quinn.
no,
but, you know,
I'm asleep.
just grab it
We'll
all.
get him a sandwich.
Okay.
Tuna,
so
chicken.
I'm starting to slip back into a conscious state.
Mhm.
I know that I've spent quite a while in mental anguish, and I'm very, very disconnected from everything going on around me. Like Lightryder had said, I'm kind of sitting in the corner of the room, kind of rocking and trying to calm myself. And Lightryder is obviously asleep.
Yep.
Or at least trying to. I mean, there's not really anything I can do.
Sorry, my screams are keeping you awake.
Yeah, well, I mean, you were whimpering. You weren't like screaming, as far as I heard. Maybe on the inside. It's an internal scream, but
Yeah, I'm not really 100% sure where to take it from here. Like, I know that my character's still
Okay.
still reeling himself back into reality and trying to get a grasp of you know, the things that had happened. I don't remember much of it. More like flashes. But yeah, no, my character is like I said, sitting in the corner, kind of rocking, trying to comfort.
Okay.
And trying to come back to reality.
All right. So the two of you sit for a while in relative quiet until you hear footsteps outside of your bunk room door and the almost manic laughter of a woman. As you listen, the footsteps get closer and you recognize that it's not one, but two sets of feet that you're hearing. The laughter and conversation gets louder as the footsteps continue towards your door. And you hear, I bet that he wouldn't take us on again if all the credits in this damn ship were on the line. He's incompetent. The only reason they keep him around for so long is because he pretends to know so much shit. And as soon as that happens, a slam hits your door. Hey! Unit 12, right? Open up.
I get out of bed and I go and open the door. I take a look at Quinn. Clearly, there's not much that can be done, so I'm gonna go get the door.
Yeah, Quinn stares at the door, almost feeling danger. Not really
I got it,
sure.
Quinn. Don't worry about it, bud. I got it. So I walk over and I get the door and I open the door and I go, yeah, hi. Is there something I could do to help you?
Okay, so opening the door, you're greeted by the sight of two women, clearly twins. The one with her foot returning to the door says, "Where the hell is your captain? I've got a bone to pick with him."
Captain's not here, man.
Yeah, Captain's not here. Hold on, let me ask a question. Can I see what rank they are? Are they civilians? Are they what?
They are clearly pilots.
Do I know them?
No, you do not know them.
Pilots.
They're but they are clearly pilots. As far as you can tell, so you would have probably heard of these two.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yep.
Thank you. Do I know who they are?
So you would have
By
heard,
reputation.
yeah, you would have heard by reputation of a pair of pilots, two twins that pilot a. They pilot a brawler class mech
Together?
This is a mech crew.
Oh, okay.
Oh god, it's Pacific Rim time.
So these twins these twins are pretty well known, especially during this time of year where the Lantern Festival takes place, and the kind of like mech duels happen. They have yet to lose.
Okay.
The only time that they came close to losing was against your captain. So, the one whose foot is returning to the floor, clearly just this brazen, no-nonsense, absolutely heinous bitch. So she, you can see on the lapel of her uniform, which she doesn't really wear like a traditional uniform. Her uniform is definitely like oversized. She kind of like slouches the jacket off the back. But on the lapel of her uniform, you can see the marksmanship commendation medal. And her hair is tied up in like a top knot, but kind of with pieces hanging out. She's got a white streak down one side of her hair, dark brown hair. They're actually like, they're both really pretty, but not like in a traditional way, quote unquote. So she's definitely the arms expert of the pair. Her uniform consists of an oversized jacket and baggy pants along with her boots, and her neural port is plainly visible. She wears her dark brown hair high in an undercut, and you can tell by her footfalls that one of her legs has a heavier step than the other. And as she kind of barges into the room, you can hear the whirring of her cybernetic prosthetic. She carries a heavy pistol on her left leg underneath her jacket. And as she just barges in, like just full on moving you to the side. And you can feel like this is a powerful woman. She don't take no shit.
That's a big.
Yeah, she comes in and she's just kind of like looking around and like even goes over to like a couple of the bunks and like pulls the mattresses up off. She's like, damn it.
Yeah, he's not under the mattresses. Listen, I don't even know where he is. We're dealing with some other stuff, so I don't know what y'all's deal is with the captain, but you're going to have to get in line because I've got my own issues with him. Clearly, he's never here, so.
Her sister, who still is standing at the door, kind of more of a quiet, passive demeanor. She looks at her sister, shakes her head, and looks to you and says, I apologize for her rudeness. She's very competitive this time of year. And you can see that she, in contrast to her sister, keeps her pilot uniform well tailored, and her neural port is actually mostly hidden beneath it. She has the same dark brown hair, but she wears them in like dual buns up on the top. And on her left shoulder, she has a tattoo that looks almost tribal in design, but upon closer inspection, it's revealed to be a map of a distant star system. There. One that the two of you would know has been destroyed. And strapped across her back is an odachi, which is a Japanese greatsword. She's got a big fuck-up sword on her back. So, both sisters have freckles smattered across their nose, and you also notice, as you get kind of closer to both of them, and as the ruder of the two sisters kind of gets up in your face, bordering their pupils is this like cyan blue light. And Quinn, as the sister who has barged into the room kind of comes in and starts just tearing the room apart, you notice a scar that's incision-like behind her ear.
What kind of orientation is she to me? Like where in the room exactly?
I would say that at this point she has kind of worked her way like around the bunks and is now like facing the back of the room, like legitimately just like throwing luggage around. Like she's just taking her anger out on your guys' room at this point.
So I kind of come to a moment of clarity and becomes extremely intrigued with this scar. Quinn actually stands up and looks directly at the scar on the neck, not really saying anything, just kind of observing and taking in that information. Before piping up and saying, "You had one of these, didn't you?" and pointing to my neck where my implant still is.
She kind of turns, cocks her head at you. Ah, you're the one.
Oh.
That sucks, buddy. I feel for you. Those things are no fucking fun. And she just kind of like, she turns around and she's like, did he fucking forget about the festival? He competes every year. God damn it, I was looking forward to pounding his face in again this year. And her sister says, yes, I do find it quite thrilling. Although there aren't many crude mecha left nowadays. I think it's just us. Fathom in Unit 10 and the triplets in Unit 7's Jigsaw, correct? And they're kind of like having this weird conversation between the two of them as
Hey Quinn, you want to fill me in? What the heck, Scar? What's going on? What's she talking about?
So on my neck is a neural implant. It reads my vitals. It has some information to it. She has a scar on her neck in the same spot. I don't actually know a whole bunch about it. That's kind of why it piqued my interest and it brought me back to reality very quickly. I've never seen anybody with one of these in their, like,
other than you.
I've never seen anybody with one of these before. So this is kind of taken me back, and it's.
And she kind of just shrugged it off like it was no big deal.
Not making a big deal about it, like she knows what's going on. So.
Yeah.
Although she did say she feels bad.
Yeah, she said that it sucks and that they're no fun. But aside from that, she's kind of just like, yeah, whatever. Which as you can tell, that this is dissimilar to yours in the way that it looks as though like her incision is smaller, almost as though like the technology that was created in your implant has been refined and further better implemented, I guess is the best way to say it. So
could I ask you what her name was again?
They didn't give you their names. You didn't ask.
What was the? Oh, sorry. I thought we had learned their names.
No, you know that they pilot Saber Epoch.
Okay. I'd like to. Quinn would like to ask them their names, and Quinn would like to ask their names and to try to find their rank and name and crew.
Okay. So they kind of the brazen one turns to you and she's like, "What did you say, shrimp?" As she looks down at you.
Quinn puffs up his chest and says it much louder this time.
Oh.
Who are you?
Oh. Yeah, my bad. Not really great with introductions. Typically, most people that I meet know who I am. Videni. That's my sister Chiba. You can call me V. Unit 4. And she goes back to kind of having the conversation with her sister, like kind of really not paying you much mind, definitely more involved in like the conversation that they were having together.
Okay.
And you hear mentions of mech crews, which are multi-piloted mecha. So there's more than one. But she mentions she mentions specifically Unit 10, Fathom, the triplets in Unit 7's Jigsaw, and then she mentions the name Morikawa and Unit 2's Horizon. And then she turns again to her sister, who asks, "What about Unit 13? Aren't they graduating those pilots soon?" And V replies, "Nah. Heard they haven't been able to beat the Aeon in the final sim for over a week. They keep running away because they're afraid of dying. Bunch of fucking cowards. They got it easy compared to us. If I'm being honest, these kids," and she gestures towards the two of you, are the last will get graduated before we go planet side. The rest of them don't have any spunk. So and they kind of just chat back and forth a little bit in front of your door, as if they're waiting for you.
Are you two just gonna sit there and take that?
They don't got the backbone to do so, buddy.
No, she's saying no.
We're
She
not
was
there
talking
yet.
about
We're not
Unit
there
13. Unit
Yeah,
13 doesn't have any.
They're not talking to us.
She
or about
actually
us. It doesn't have a thing to do
complimented.
with us.
Yeah, she actually complimented the Unit 12, saying that you guys were probably the last one they'll get graduated planet side before they get planet side.
I'd like to question him about the this event. Kind of prodding for information and seeing what it's all about.
Oh, the Lantern Festival?
Yes, the Lantern Festival. That's the one.
Yeah. So Chiba kind of turns and looks kind of like, for the first time, she actually like glances over both of you. Until then, she's just been solely focused on her sister. My child making weird noises in the background.
But that's what children do.
I know, she's watching a video, so. But she looks at the two of you and says, "You've never been? That's odd. Typically they make all recruits go at least once." The Lantern Festival dates back to before we even discovered Lodestar Alpha. Dates back to Earth traditions. It's old. But essentially, we hold one every other year, or every year, depending on how high casualties are, and help the dead move on. Honor them. Let them go. It's harder for most, especially for pilots, but it's important. At any rate, there's lots of dancing and food and prizes. It's great.
Prizes,
Yeah.
you say?
Mm-hmm.
How
Saying it
close are
almost in a
Ralph and
questioning manner.
Signus from coming back from the galley at this point?
You guys were pretty far away because you guys were all the way at the CIC.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'd say that you guys probably won't meet up until you, if you all choose to go, you won't meet up until you actually get to like the festival grounds,
Okay.
which are in the upper residential district.
Got it. So screw getting food and partying for today.
I'd like to question more about the festival, specifically the mecha fighting. It's kind of piqued Quinn's interest and almost has given him a little bit of fire.
She kind of looks you over, looks at her sister.
Or down at me.
Yeah, like she examines you like
Literally
critically
over.
under that
Literally
stare.
over.
Yeah, like you feel that stare. And she just You want to fight?
Fighting's all I know.
All right, I'm gonna go use the bathroom real quick. and grab
Okay.
some.
All right, Mashi. She looks at you and she says, "Well then, I can't wait to squash you under our feet. Like the little
Be
bug
hard.
you are." And she just giggles and like it's like adorable but also kind of terrifying.
Quinn kind of bumps Lightryder and kind of gives Lightryder a look and is like, "We doing this? We gonna do this?"
Do what? Lightryder missing the cue completely, doesn't understand what we're supposed to be doing.
Quinn elbows Lightryder a little bit harder this time and says, "Are we doing this?"
No, I'm not doing anything.
At which
I don't know what's
point,
going on.
at which point, V takes a flyer that she'd had in her back pocket and slaps it up on Quinn's chest, and it kind of like knocks the air out of you a little bit. And she's like, "Information's on the back. Sign-ups in 2 hours. Bring all you got." And they turn around and she's like, "Are you coming?" And they start walking, kind of like looking back, expecting you to follow them.
Quinn grabs Lightryder's hand and starts to pull and beckon him into the hallway.
All right, fine. Let's go.
We're doing this.
Fine. I guess just because they destroyed the room, we might as well.
Yeah, the room is absolutely wrecked.
Hey, but girls, if we
Signus and
win,
Ralph are gonna
you
come back to
gotta-
the room and it's gonna be a mess and we're not gonna be there.
Yes, if we win though, you got to come back and clean this crap up.
V stops in her tracks, grabs her sister's shoulder, and they both like do the weird creepy twin turn where they both turn around like in sync. And they kind of look at you. V cocks her head. "Well, we'll just have to see if you can beat us then. And nobody else ever has." And
All right, let's go, Quinn.
yeah,
Now I'm in.
they
Now-
about
now
face.
I'm really in.
Quinn's extremely excited at this point and almost completely forgets about the whole mental break that had
Yeah.
happened earlier, and is essentially dragging Lightryder down the hallway in excitement.
Which is hilarious considering how much smaller you are than him.
It's fine. It's fine.
it's like a toddler like towing their parent towards like a store that they really want to go into.
It's fine. We'll let it happen.
It's like a puppy trying to steal your sock.
Yeah.
We'll let it happen.
All right.
All right, so we're following them to the thing.
Yeah.
Well, Quinn is actually pulling Lightryder
I'm
with
not
the other
really-
hand.
yeah.
He's brisking over the information that's on the back of the pamphlet. What would that read, Frez?
So essentially the information that you gather is it is a mock combat. So no live ammunition and just factory, like off the factory floor chassis. So any kind of like modifications or modules, anything like that you guys would have, you would not have anymore. Okay. So they have set up a specific number of chassis of each type for everyone to fight in, and it's a one-on-one situation. So one pilot versus one pilot or crew. In the case of the Ryu twins.
Okay.
So, but you do see that the prize for the tournament winners is 1,000 credits.
Can you get some context to like what the value of a credit would be?
One credit is worth a lot. Like we're talking like I think that the way I had it worked out is 5 credits typically is a pilot's salary per like monthly salary, and that's enough for you guys to afford to live, get upgrades, and have your mechs fixed. So, 1,000 credits is a lot of money.
Quinn's eyes kind of glaze over when the mention of 1,000 credits comes into, and is just kind of daydreaming about what he could do with that 1,000 credits with his mech.
Yep. It is important to note that second prize is 200 credits and third prize is 100 credits. So that's like almost a year's salary for a pilot, like at your rank, because you guys are the newbies.
Rank.
Yeah.
Newbie.
Yeah. So these girls are in Unit 4. So that kind of gives you an idea of how long they've been doing this. And you can tell, especially on V's face, like the battles and the years of piloting these mechs has really started to kind of wear on her.
When you say that, for context, how many years would you say, or Unit 4 would you say, have they been operating?
They have been operating before you guys were even trained. So they are at least twice your age. So they're in their like late 30s. And they don't look it. And it's important to note that people on specifically on
That's
this
old.
Well,
right?
Yeah, but people on the siege ship, people who
for this world.
Yeah, so
We're
civilians.
both older than you, Jack. I don't want to hear it.
Civilians.
I'm approaching 30 real quick.
Yeah, so
Go back to your crib,
same.
Jack.
Civilians typically, if they like anyone who's not live combat, typically will easily be over 100, 120 before they pass away.
Okay.
But pilots, specifically saber pilots, have a really short life expectancy. Like we're talking maybe 50s, maybe. But
And
the fact of the
was time
matter is,
different in the jump,
huh?
Was time different inside the jump?
A little bit. So time is strange now because you're now on the other side of the space-time rift. So as far as you know, from the time that the Nishimura left Lodestar Alpha to now, it has been approximately 300 Earth years. However, in the space-time, like on the other side of the space-time rift, you have no idea how much time has passed.
Okay.
It's
We're
hard to
just
tell.
going relative to our own reality. We don't know. Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Now there are people who like they and like just genetically, the human species has changed like on a genetic level, to withstand the like just being in space for long periods of time, and people don't age the same way. So even though these girls are probably like mid to late 30s, maybe early 40s, they look like they're your age.
Okay.
Like
without a magnetosphere, you don't have a protection from radiation.
Yeah.
That would basically blast your telomeres into non-existence.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm back.
It's all good, Mashi. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So, yup. And that's just
I'm
like
too much of a nerd.
that's like
Right.
just general like lore stuff that is still like in process. Now there are exceptions to those rules, but again, specifically Saber pilots have a pretty low life expectancy. So the fact that these girls have several live action combat pins, they're kind of a big deal.
Okay.
So yeah, they've gone out on a few missions and come back alive.
Quinn, I'm like, hey Quinn, you found a mate. You found a lady mate.
But he don't know nothing yet.
Yeah,
we're still in a galley.
you guys ain't there yet. You guys are still making your
way
way
out, like outside, like.
Yeah.
If it was possible for me for like just to message Quinn over the comms, just hearing the conversation, I'm like, Quinn, get her, Quinn.
Only if you want to give the impression you're spying on the entire team all the time.
Yeah, just kind of as an FYI on the comm link, they're not live all the time.
No.
Yeah.
And if you hack them to make it that way, Lightryder ain't gonna like
you
anymore.
would know. You guys would know, for sure. So
don't worry. This is just like if I was there, I would be the one saying, "Get him, Quinn. Get it." So, that's my brother.
Mashi, calm down. Calm down, Mashi.
I'm sorry.
So the Ryu twins escort Quinn and Lightryder towards the upper residential district as Ralph and Signus make their way back to whatever they choose their destination to be.
Don't go back to the room, it's a mess.
The room is a fucking mess.
That was hilarious.
Let's see. Did we go back to the
Don't go
room
back to
just
the
so that
room.
we get the whole entire mysterious thing of holy shit? Who the
I mean, if you want to, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, unless...
Ralph, what you want to do?
Well, at this point, what's our location? Are we on the way back at this point?
I
They're
would
long
say,
gone,
I would say at this point, like probably by the time that you guys would get back to the room, they've probably been gone for like maybe 10-15 minutes.
So should we just skip to the grounds then, I guess? And just meet up with them there?
You guys don't know. You guys don't know that they've decided to go.
So when we get back to the room, we see the room tossed.
The room is absolutely ransacked. Yeah.
Ralph's gonna kind of look around and go, having no clue what happened. The first thing he's gonna do is hop on a comm link, Quinn, Lightryder, what did you do to the room?
I'm just gonna fix everything
Quinn jumps on the link.
Hey man, how's it going? What are you talking about? What's wrong with the room?
Everything is a mess.
Quinn, just go along with it.
Really? What do you mean? I mean, we've been gone for a little while.
We
it was
just
fine
cleaned
when
it.
we left.
So, I want to hop on and just make a little bit of fun.
What's so funny? What?
Someone
Listen,
make a joke?
we're entering this contest thing, so we gotta get ready.
Listen, I understand you guys have some romance moments, but Jesus, clean up after yourselves.
We just cleaned the room, I swear. Yeah, we literally just cleaned the room and left a couple of hours ago, so...
Why is there a dent at our door?
Signus, are you making enemies? Yeah,
I just got back with Ralph. I don't know what you're talking about.
We are going to come have a chat. And I heard competition.
Bye, guys. We're busy.
No, where are you?
Currently dragging Lightryder to the festival grounds.
Not your favorite.
Be there, be square.
Oh, we will find you.
Come on, Signus, let's go find those clowns and make them fix this.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love it.
You know what? I'm gonna just fix Quinn's stuff and mine and Ralph's. I'm gonna just leave Lightryder stuff just as it is.
No. You don't fix anything. We did not do this. They will learn to be responsible like men. Or else
As you said,
there'll be a
Ralph.
problem.
Little do they know. I love it. Yes,
Anyway.
my child.
So we're gonna go off. At least Ralph is, and he's got an idea
I'm
where
not
the
coming with you,
fairgrounds
buddy.
are, and just gonna kind of start hoofing it.
Yeah, I'm coming with Ralph.
He's still got more than a couple like food bar rations that are stocked away in his jumpsuit because it's Ralph. He is big boy.
Hey, Ralph, before we go, you want a drink? Or no, that
Not now.
Not now.
There will be drinks at the festival. Worry not.
Quinn's gonna get lit.
Quinn's gonna
I'm
take
not talking
one.
about the drinks.
Quinn's
I'm
gonna
just
take
like-
one sip of sake and just be done.
I want just to hop on comms like, Quinn, you better not be drinking, buddy. You lightweight.
All that Mosh actually hear, or all that Signus hears through the comms is like the dragging of Lightryder and the faint voices in front of us.
All right,
Yeah.
at this point, if you don't stop dragging me, let's go. Let me go. I'm walking now. I'm going on
All right,
my
well,
own.
let's just find out where these guys are
You
at.
dragged me
Yep.
500 yards.
Well, Ralph is already on the move, so if Signus is still standing there talking to himself, he's
I'm walking with you.
He's got a
Shit.
fire lit in
As soon as you said that, I dropped everything and left. Shit. Trying to leave my ass behind. Hell no.
So, while the lower residential district is still being cleaned up, the upper residential district is adorned with beautiful, glowing, warm lit lanterns and just all kinds of decorations. You can see people dancing. You can see fire spinners. There's music, and the smell that permeates the air is just. It's a festival. So there's all kinds of yummy, tasty smells coming from the general area, and above it all, you see that they have erected this massive arena. It is reinforced glass, similar to the observation decks on the ship. And there are 2 mechs currently in the arena fighting. But you don't hear anything. You can see it, but you can't hear it.
Quinn has love in his eyes and is peering around at the lanterns and the fire spinners and is in complete awe. Looks at Lightryder to see his reaction with such excitement in his face, and just you can see the excitement boiling over inside Quinn.
Settle down, little buddy. It's gonna be okay. Settle down.
I'm bouncing like a little kid at an amusement park.
Yeah.
All right, settle down. Let's make sure we stay focused for this, Quinn. Don't get so excited that we're not paying attention. Settle down. It's gonna be fine, but you want to win, right? So let's stay focused.
And as you kind of walk into the festival grounds, there are several people who are dressed in their pilot uniforms. Some are dressing more traditionally, adorning kimonos and things of that nature. This is very like Japanese-esque traditional festival kind of situation. And as you continue to walk through the streets, you see a line of several people holding these small paper lanterns, making their way towards kind of not necessarily like an alleyway, but more of like a recess between 2 of the giant residential towers that are in this space.
Are the twins still within proximity of us?
Yeah, they're around.
Okay. I would like to approach them again and ask them where and how to sign up to the festival's fight.
Chiva this time turns towards you and says, "The dome, of course." And turns back around.
Quinn looks at Lightryder, kind of pointing in the same direction, and starts to head that way.
Let's
Okay.
go.
The sisters split off to a place where they are giving out these paper lanterns to be decorated however they see fit, and they kind of begin to take on that process and begin to follow the crowd towards what you assume to be kind of like one of the main events of the area outside of like the obvious main event. But it's definitely like a somber air around those folks.
Okay.
Whereas the closer that you kind of progress towards the dome, and at this point, Ralph and Signus, you two have also made it onto the grounds, and you catch a glimpse of Quinn and Lightryder. Quinn almost like bolting towards this massive glass dome. And Lightryder kind of just like, it's kind of like a Timon and Pumbaa situation where it's like, let me at him, hold me back, let me at him, like that whole kind of back and forth thing.
So I guess we know where Quinn's going. You want to follow Ralph, or what you want to do, buddy?
Ralph's gonna kind of just be looking around for a little bit. Having heard of the festival but never really seen it, it's just gonna kind of take him aback, and especially with the flashback earlier, he's not going to be very much, shall we say, enthused as the fighting as he normally would. So
yeah.
No, Signus, I think I'm going to take a moment here, but it's a festival. Quinn looks like he wants to have some fun. Let him have some fun.
All right, buddy. I'm gonna stick with you. You want to do something like get some lanterns and probably do some well wishes, or you want to just grab some food? What you want to do? I'm gonna stick with you, buddy.
Well, if you're hungry, Ralph's gonna pull a protein bar out of one of the pockets of his jumpsuit and just hand it over to him.
And at the same time, the smells of all of the food stalls that are further in kind of like waft into your nose. And they smell so much better than those ration bars.
I'm looking at the ration bar. I talked to Ralph.
And just be like, you know what? Forget this. Whatever that smell is, I want that.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's go. So we go to the food stalls and taste out the food.
Okay. So there are several more traditional foods available. It's mostly like Japanese street food. Is kind of like what's going on. So we got like, you know, takoyaki.
Wait, are we Japanese?
Yeah, you guys are. Well, it's the cultural.
Nishimura, didn't that give you a clue?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Culturally,
I mean, it could've just been made in Japan, like
culturally,
all good technology is.
Culturally, the originators of the Nishimura were of Japanese descent, but not everyone who is on this ship is of Japanese descent.
But there's a lot of Japanese, like...
there's a lot of Japanese influences because they've kind of tried to hold over a lot of their traditions from their Earth times, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ralph's pretty much gonna stall hop, you know, yakitori, takoyaki, odango, crepes.
Yeah, crepes. Yeah.
He's gonna get everything.
Taiyaki, yakisoba. Yeah, there's all kinds of goodness in here. One of everything.
Must finish with mochi.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Wait, Ralph, what are we going for? We going for mochi or takoyaki?
All of
Why not both?
All of it, my friend, all of it.
As far as
yourself.
As far as like cost for stuff, at this particular festival, pilots eat free. So
even better.
Ralph, I'm just like, bro. Let's start here first, as I lead him to like the mochi and takoyaki stalls.
There you go.
No. Mochi is for after.
Mochi is dessert, dog.
And the stalls did dessert first, and then you eat everything. But let's go your way.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Will there be sandwiches? There can be sandwiches.
There can always be sandwiches.
And that's more of Lightryder's thing.
So. All right. So, Quinn, Lightryder, as you two kind of advanced through the main fairgrounds, you come upon kind of a crier who is waving the flyers around.
Oh, cheer up, Mr. Crier. It's gonna get
and
better.
he says,
I'm sorry, a town crier.
A town crier. Hear ye. Type. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a better name for it. But at any rate, he's kind of like
Fight promoter.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. That's just listen. That's what came into my brain.
Why,
okay.
Well, why is the fight promoter crying? I don't.
Riot.
All right.
So
He's scared of my raw ability.
So he is kind of waving down pilots that he recognizes you two as being pilots. And he kind of takes a moment to like pause what he's doing, pulls out of his jacket 2 entry forms. And looks at you two and he says, "You're joining, right? You guys are gonna fight, right?"
Quinn grabs one of the
paper for this stuff. Still, seriously, we print paper in this universe.
Let it happen. Damn it, JD.
Quinn quickly grabs one of the papers from his hand and starts to browse over it, reading the information and trying to understand what.
A Japanese society would prize paper
about
anyway. It would be a
entire
thing.
the absolute futility of the fact that we're still using paper after all of these years and how unsustainable it
a
is.
Japanese society would use paper anyway because it would be a prized tradition. So.
It's
they
would
still write on it.
It's also not typical paper. It's like that stone paper that's like you can infinitely recycle it.
Oh, that's totally a different thing then. But we just call it paper.
It's it's paper as far as you've ever known. It's paper.
God, that was nice. Well done, Prez. Well done. Well done. Nice. Now go on, dust your shoulders off. Slick.
What kind of information would be on this sheet as Quinn's brisking over and reading the information?
So it's kind of just a reiteration of the back of the flyer, predominantly stating the prizes and that they're not liable for anything that like happens to you during the fight.
Plus,
like if you get
thing that says if you're pregnant or nursing, or if you may. Quinn,
that's a whole other lore dive, JD, that we do not have time for tonight.
Quinn, it says that you're not. It says that you're not even tall enough to ride this mech.
He does kind of give you a glance, Quinn, as you like eagerly take the paper. 1, recognizing you, and 2, kind of just
recognizing me.
Yeah, well, you guys were paraded in front of like the entire population yesterday.
We're kind of a big deal, Quinn. We're kind of a big deal.
Not to toot my own horn, but
well, if you don't, somebody else might.
So he kind of looks you over and he's like, "You really are small."
My whole goal tonight is to make Jack laugh as much as possible, and I'm succeeding.
Yeah.
Does anybody have that little doot sound? The little.
But he kind of looks you over and he's like, "Damn. You looked taller in the pictures."
Rude. He's
so serious about this, and he's just like kind of taken aback by like the diminutive size of this like in this pilot who's standing in front of him.
Quinn takes a step forward, almost in extreme closeness, and looks up at the guy. What's that supposed to mean?
And I do absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Good luck in the tournament. Have a good day. And he just like he leaves. He turns around and is like trying to go around and find someone else to hand an entry form to.
Smart move.
So the paperwork is pretty straightforward: name, pilot class, chassis type, and like just kind of like some basic information like bunk room quadrant, which you would know all of this. So just basic information so they know who you are and where to send the prize money to if you win. So
okay, perfect.
Yep.
Quinn quickly sketches in all the information needed, almost too much information in the about me section. And kind of looks at Lightryder, wondering what his next move's gonna be.
I feel attacked for
same though.
Twitter, I feel attacked for my Twitter about us page.
You
now,
mean your Twitch about
That's
me
okay.
page?
I maxed out on the Twitch one.
That's what I said.
No, you said Twitter.
Yeah, you said Twitter.
You did say Twitter.
See, I'm not crazy.
I didn't. I said Twitch. At any rate, are we in the thing? Can I go? When do we get to go kick some tail? Hey, Quinn, are you done filling out your dissertation report? Can we get
20 minutes ago?
thing?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what the hell are we waiting for? Or
So
let's go.
at this point, you would proceed closer to like the actual edge of the dome, where you do see like some people are gathering around and taking bets, and exchanging of credits is going on. There's people selling tickets to get into the stands. You've got scalpers everywhere. It is a sporting event.
Okay, so hey Quinn, why don't we go and place some bets on ourselves here real quick? So how do I check my bank account balance?
Yeah, I will say
In
that
real life, that's a violation.
Yeah. I will say you can always bet against the Ryu twins instead.
Bet against?
Against them. So
when we're talking about credits, what kind of
I don't want to bet against them. I want to bet on me.
So you guys have available to you as of your graduation, you would have gotten a stipend, and it comes directly to your pager. Like your pager is kind of like an all-in-one thing. It is like your debit card, it is your deployment pager, it's your, hey, if you're fucked up, this is where you go. Comms device. Yeah,
how you get an Uber.
It's how you get an Uber. Cool. Yeah. So you
Uber.
Would have gotten a stipend. You would have gotten
Uber.
I love it.
Spoober's here.
Oh, I love it. I mean,
Hi, I'm your Spoober. How may I help you?
Hey, Spoober, toast, like, bring it on.
It's a Spoober scooter.
That should be a thing now, a permanent part of the campaign.
Spoober
scooter.
That's how they get around the ship.
Yeah, there you go.
Putting it in your chat, Fraz. #Spoober.
Spoober. That's a thing.
So at any rate, based on your back pay from training as well as your pay from deployment, each of you have 20 credits.
20 credits. Duly noted.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm definitely betting at least a couple of credits on us. Are we teaming up on this against the girls? That's what we're doing, correct?
Nope.
No,
it's a
it's
one-on-one.
One mech versus one mech.
That seems really unfair.
It does seem unfair. There's two of them in one mech. Yeah, but it's a bigger.
There's two of them in one mech. In a brawler.
Do they get any negative modifiers because of that?
So the way that the double mech crews work is kind of a little bit different mechanically. Certain attacks have disadvantages, and certain others have advantages. It's a mechanical change, but pretty much.
We know that information.
It's
being pilot.
Like, so essentially you have the way that the crewed mechs work. So you have typically one. It's typically a double crewed thing. Jigsaw is a triple crew, and you know that Horizon is a quad crew, but they pilot a Titan class, a Titan chassis, and it's massive. So the dual crews, typically you have one that's the weapons expert and the other one's that's the engineering / systems expert. So you will have one specifically like piloting and the other one specifically in charge of like combat.
It's like an Apache.
Yeah.
In relative size, what size would a Titan be? Ralph's a Ralph's a Titan, right?
Ralph is a Titan, but this Titan, specifically Titan Horizon, is like twice the size of Ralph's Titan.
Jeez.
It's huge.
And Ralph is like 3 times our size.
Ralph is about 3 times Quinn's size. He's about twice the size of the rest of you.
So in relative size to my mech.
In relative size to your mech, so the brawler class is about the same size as a striker class Titan, but it's a little heftier. Like, so as far as like, yeah, it's chonky.
So would being a scout make me have like a speed advantage on these Titan mechs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Big time? Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, your mobility is definitely higher than theirs. So.
All right. Well, I'm definitely.
Oh hell yeah, my mobility's higher. It's 17.
Yeah.
I'm putting 2 on myself. 2 credits on myself to.
Okay.
Finish in the top 10.
Okay.
Wait, aren't there only like 6 mechs? Isn't that a guarantee?
No, she said that. I mean, if there's millions of mech, there's only 6.
No, there's
tons.
several. Because you have folks who are not because you have non-saber mechs also fighting.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, so saber.
Do we know how many mechs are in the tournament?
So you would know that there are at least 3 other saber pilots currently in, and obviously the twins are one of those.
Yep.
So they're a set. So there's 2 other pilots outside of the twins. And then there are at least currently signed up right now 20 other mechs.
Okay, so I did hear you mention that Horizon was in this tournament.
Horizon is out of commission currently because you kind of overheard V and Chiba talking about
That's what they were talking about.
yeah,
right?
Morikawa, one of the pilots for Horizon, essentially is kind of out of commission. He's waiting on a prosthetic, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
So.
All right.
So, but that's as it stands right now. The tournament, so right now this is kind of like prelim, pre-qualification, practice stuff going on. These are people that are fighting right now who are civilians who have built their own mechs. And these are exhibition matches, essentially, is what's happening right now. So the real deal
Right
doesn't.
now we got real steel going on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the real deal doesn't really start until later this evening, typically after the lighting of the lanterns happens.
Okay. I'd like to go to one of the people that are taking bets and bet 2 credits on myself.
Okay.
And 2 credits on the twins.
Okay.
I think Twitch might have died.
Uh-oh.
On who?
I'm still good on both.
Yeah, same.
It's just you, JD.
All right.
The wife must have turned the rotor off or something.
Ooh.
Right, but I'm still talking to you guys.
Must be those mind powers you have.
She controls the service. It's been Mrs. JD all along. Okay.
Are there any other notable mechs that we would know of because of their kind of popularity or almost like celebrity status kind of thing?
Really, the Ryu twins are kind of like the main event. Yeah. You know that if you ask, they will tell you that the other 2 mechs, one is from Unit 10 and the other one is from Unit 9. I gotta shut this door. Hang on.
While these guys are getting signed up, Ralph and I guess if Signus is tagging along, Ralph's got an arm full of food and he's going to kind of make his way to the stands and just find a seat where he can kind of, watch the amateurs kind of go at it and just laugh and chuckle at their lack of, shall we say, refinement in the controls of their mechs.
Yeah, and you can definitely tell that these folks do not have a lot of official training. They have far too many excess movements in the way that they fight, and their mechs just in and of themselves are homemade. You can tell that they're damn good quality for civilians.
Are you speaking of the mechs or their fighting ability?
Both.
Oh.
Yeah. So for civilians, for people who have never had any official combat training, these are like the cream of the crop. So essentially the way that these exhibition matches work is that typically this is the way that people, when they enter their mechs into these exhibition matches, they are competing to try and get into one of the Iron Dawn's programs. Specifically, they're competing to try and get into Saber.
Okay.
So for people who
these really aren't inexperienced when it comes to mech. They're
They're not necessarily inexperienced, they're just
Combat
untrained. Yeah.
They're not trained, so they're
Okay.
doing things that an experienced, trained individual might not necessarily do.
Mhm.
Yeah, like she
So
said,
it's
the
pretty much a
extra
recruitment
movement
process,
and
but for
Yeah.
entertainment.
It's like if you watch
Okay.
some newbie, like in an amateur MMA fight, and he immediately goes to guard on his back instead of standing on his feet and fighting.
Yeah.
You know he's going to get pounded into the ground.
These are like this is essentially like an event where college recruiters come and watch high school sports.
oh, cool. Okay.
Hey guys, give me 2 seconds. I have to restart.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-oh. All right.
Well, I just
Screens
have
are
to
going to get
restart.
weird,
I'm
chat,
gonna
just so you know.
I was gonna say we're gonna go ahead and take a break real quick anyway.
Jack, you got
That
the one
sounded
man.
appropriate.
That's
I don't
odd.
know why, Jack, but it sounded.
JD, you have taken
That's
everything
bad.
out of context tonight, so
You like it.
and Jack's eyebrow wiggles
Oh,
do not
yeah.
help.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
That's hot. That's hot. That's
Let
hot.
the romance continue.
It is at this point in the night that I have completely lost control of the party.
Be gone, thought.
Poor Faz.
yeah.
Welcome back to the madness, everyone.
I was only expected to have to parent her own child, not us.
My child
Grass
buddy.
way
is
more
behaving
violent than-
Videos.
currently, okay? She has been a gem this entire time. To you guys.
She almost came over and ran the whole stream.
Yeah, she like ran by your chair, and I was like, she gonna sit in the chair and like
No,
run this.
She sits in the
I
chair.
had
and she's
snacks
just
for
like,
her.
run the campaign?
she
I had
sits-
snacks.
Yeah, she's like, I run this stuff now.
That's all right. JD leaves his stream in the care of a combination of his chair.
Sir, you mean Sir
Cinder, and who was the
Charrington?
new one?
That'd be Pixie.
Pixie.
Who's Pixie?
He's got a new critter.
What? Who's Pixie?
He's got
Aw.
a new unicorn.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Her is awesome. Beautiful.
Okay, so
And there goes my water bottle.
bringing us back in. So, our friends Quinn and Lightryder have now approached the dome and officially registered to enter into the competition as of when it becomes available after the exhibition matches. And then we have Ralph and Signus, who are perusing all of the fantastic and wonderful foods available, and just kind of taking in the other side of the festival. And at this point, they have.
Oh no, Ralph's been watching
yeah,
the amateurs at this point.
Yeah, you guys have taken your bounty of food and have entered the dome at this point to watch the exhibition matches.
Sweet.
I would guess there's like exhibition and qualifying stuff happening, and we're already qualified because we're pros, or
Yeah,
the
again, so
prelim.
these are kind of like how we were describing it earlier. These are pilots that are specifically civilians. They do not have any military training, and they have not been recruited into any of the programs offered by the Iron Dawn. This is their shot to get into those programs.
oh, gotcha. I didn't understand that for
Yeah.
whatever reason. Okay, so they're really auditioning. Okay, I got
Yeah,
The
this is
Lightryder, we need to crush those guys.
yeah.
Oh,
You
yeah,
guys
yeah,
won't
they're
you
chumps.
guys won't
They're
be
chumps.
fighting them.
we won't really be up against them, right?
No, you guys will not be fighting the amateurs. You guys
Yeah,
will
it
be.
wouldn't be fair.
That'd
Yeah.
be like
They're
that
fighting for the
MMA
chance
guy,
to
the
get into
amateur that
the
he was
pro
talking about
bracket,
earlier, fighting a
basically.
pro.
Yeah, it'd be like me. Yeah,
So they would be fighting the sisters as well, or no?
If they make it,
depending
They
on
have
the
to make
bracket.
it to the bracket.
they
first.
so the amateurs will not be. No. So the amateur bracket and the like professional bracket are two separate occasions.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? Is there a place where we can go and place bets? 'Cause
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna place like at least 2 on Jack, 2 on Lightryder, and see if are we allowed to see who placed bets on what, or no?
You just
Nope.
see the
Okay.
odds.
You know the
Yeah,
odds.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to see that, I don't think, because
No
Um,
bookie would
track
tell
that.
you that unless they're
No bookie
Yeah.
would tell,
unless you're
right.
running the books and fixing it.
Right.
Yeah. So you know that the odds for Quinn are, as of right now, because more mechs have joined, the odds are 30-1, with Quinn on the one side of that. And you know that the odds for Lightryder are a little bit better in his favor. They are 20-1.
Okay.
So.
Do you see the odds for any other players? And I know I don't know them, but what are the odds for everyone else?
Yeah, so pretty much the highest odds are on the Ryu twins. So the 30-1 opposing Jack is for the Ryu twins. Essentially, they are the top dogs in this whole thing.
Money.
I'll
Yeah.
put 4 on them. And then is there anyone else?
Not that sticks out to you, no.
Okay.
Bunch of chumps.
Mm-hmm.
I should.
That's a good chunk of credits, though. So
2, 4,
yeah.
and 4. I put what, 8?
I put some credits in my pocket.
So remind me again. You're putting 2 credits on who?
2 credits on Lightryder and Quinn, and I put 4 on the Ryu twins.
Okay.
You're gonna lose those 4 credits, boy.
Okay, if you win, I don't
they
care.
have the lower payout. If you guys win, that your payout dwarfs what he lost on them.
And then.
So I got a
4.
surefire win. So like.
Wow. Wow.
That laugh
Well,
was
no,
terrifying.
my bet spread almost guarantees me a win.
Did you say back spread? For a second, I
Bet.
thought I heard bet spread. And I'm like, oh,
I'm
okay.
still pretty sure Fraz has a beat down in her pocket for some humility teaching to this.
Yeah, that's
group
what
at
she
this
thought
point.
about that Aeonic mech too, and guess what I did to him?
That's
Yeah.
why I'm sure it's still coming, dude.
But guess what? I've learned to balance encounters since then.
She didn't
man.
expect me to hit that thing for a third of its total HP in one shot.
I also don't think she expected us to actually fight the thing.
I
I think
didn't.
she was trying to like instill terror, and it just instilled confidence in us.
Which is a terrifying thing. So now you
don't
should be expecting to be humbled a little bit.
You
But we'll see how it
basically
plays
tried to
out.
Kobayashi Maru an entire squad of Kirks.
Yeah, we'll
That's what
see.
you
We'll
did.
see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out.
Sweet.
Music from that scene starts to play.
All right, Ralph, you gonna put any bets, or I'm just gonna chill with you after I place my bets?
Ralph's not going to bet. He's just, eating, and he's kind of not paying attention because he's laughing at the amateur circuit going at it.
Uh-huh.
So,
Point
I
to
sit
you
next to
laugh.
Some of them are
I sit
pretty-
next to Ralph and eat food.
Some of them are pretty dang good. Like there are some that are comically bad. But there are several. There are probably 3 or 4 that stick out to you that, with some proper training, would make some damn good pilots.
So, question. So, how is with the ring and everything? So, is the amateur fight different from professional fight, or are they? All
No, they're all in the same area.
Oh, that was the other question I had. Is it like a cube?
No, it is oblong. It's essentially a football field, but like bigger.
it's a
So
giant
it's like a
egg.
large rectangle. I'm just trying to understand
an
like
egg.
how.
It's an egg.
Oh, cool. Okay, so it's like dome shape. Okay,
Yeah, it's a
cool.
dome. It's a dome.
Yes, but it's oblong. It's an obloid sphere.
Takes information into account.
All right, I'm just gonna. Sit
Yeah,
next to Ralph
no
and eat
corners
food.
in here, Jack.
Who says I'm going into a corner?
Hey, Ralph, pass me the takoyaki, please.
Didn't you have your own? Ah,
Hey, man, we got enough food to split. What you mean, buddy?
There is a lot of food.
that doesn't mean Ralph still wants to
Okay.
share.
So,
Here, leave me alone.
Hey, thanks.
He just
Thanks.
throws like a couple sticks at him.
so
Ralph
as
didn't just start eating.
as the amateur fights begin to start to wrap up, they announce the brackets for the professional fights. At this point, any last minute entries are accepted. If Ralph, Signus, if you guys want to get in on it.
Do you want to get in on it, Ralph?
Nah, Ralph's just kind of having fun. He basically sees that Quinn seemed the most excited about it, so he wants to let him go and have all the glory.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll let him. Yeah. I guess I can't go solo, can I?
Yeah.
It's all solo.
It's all solo.
It's individual mech.
No, like
Solo with
I thought it
Han.
was like 2 and 1.
There's two.
Those are
There
because
is
they're
a
crew
mech
mechs, but
crew, and
one
it's
mech.
one mech. It's one mech versus one mech. Single
Right,
single
right.
mech combat.
But I'm
Um,
saying, like, can I pilot just by myself, or do I have to have
Yeah.
someone with me? Okay.
Yeah, I am.
The only reason that mech crews are allowed to enter is because they are like all of their modules and like additional benefits that they would be getting are knocked off. So they just have like the basic chassis. And that's the case for everyone. That's kind of the handicap that they give everyone. In addition, these mechs do not have neural ports. So you guys are going purely off of your training. So
Okay.
these are like straight off the factory floor chassis before any kind of additional enhancement happens.
Actually, does that eliminate one with the machine at that point?
Yep, sure does.
Oh, I thought you said we had our pilot abilities.
You have
Everything
your
but that one.
pilot abilities. You do not have one with the machine because
One with the
these do
machine
not
is one of
have.
my pilot- is one of
Yeah,
my pilot
so
abilities.
the one with the machine you do not have because these do not have neural ports.
So, Quinn,
you
your
still have,
cloaking
like,
field
your-
and ambush abilities.
Yeah,
are
I don't
still
have any of
available
that, but I
to you.
still have my reckless attack.
Yes, you still have your reckless attack.
No,
currently.
you won't
worry.
have
I'm gonna
cloaking
use
because that's a mech. That's a chassis ability.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's one of my modules.
Yeah, so
Or,
any
sorry, that is a chassis
any of
ability,
your chassis abilities, any additional modules, things of that nature, and one with the machine you do not have access to during this.
Gotcha.
yeah. What kind of armor and hit points do we have?
Your armor and hit points stay the same. Yep. That much I'm granting because I don't want to. That's
And our
She
hit
doesn't wanna
points and
re-roll new
damage and
mechs
stuff
for
like
you.
that. Our rolls
Yeah.
are gonna be relatively the same.
yeah. Your rolls as far as damage and things like that. Those are all the same across the board. Basically, the way that I'm kind of like, the only person who really had like far too low hit points in my personal opinion for something like this would be Hawkins, but you guys have similar hit points, you and Lightryder. So, and it's pretty good hit points for your chassis. So,
I think I'm
Yeah,
gonna
what do
just
we have for hit
observe.
points on our
Is
chassis?
there anything from just watching? Can I learn from anything about the technology, or just like scan it or anything, or no?
there's not really anything that's not that you don't already know. It's basic. It's very basic.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna just sit
basic
and,
boy.
hmm
I'm gonna just sit and watch.
So you both have Quinn, Lightryder. You guys both have 6 armor points, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I will say that for this instance, I will grant you both 10 total hit points, but that's just for this.
How
So-
brazen of you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just you wait. Just you wait.
As
Why
far
was
as
the payroll
selection
in
go
that
of
one, though?
weapons, what kind of array of weapons do we have at our disposal?
You get a pole arm or a quarterstaff, essentially, and that's it. So one is a light melee weapon, one is a heavy melee weapon. So whatever
No
you are,
ranged.
this is
Um,
hand-to-hand combat.
It's a slugfest, yo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I'm
Um,
definitely watching.
What was the second option? You said I had a pole arm and
Pole arm or a quarterstaff. It's essentially the same thing. They're just smaller, and the quarterstaff is smaller and lighter.
Okay. Are we approaching the area where we're getting into our mechs and kind of getting oriented with like the machines?
Not yet, because there's still the lantern lighting that takes place after the exhibition matches. So we have to go through that, and then we can get to that bit. So
Fine.
I know you just want to fight. I know, I get it.
Wanna fight.
I'm gonna take
Throw
notes
them
of people
dice.
fighting.
I really didn't think that we were going to get to this tonight, so I had to do some work behind the scenes during the break. So,
Raz says fight. Jack says yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
yeah.
You know, you may be kangaroo themed, but man, you got the energy of a freaking cracked out jackrabbit.
What, sweetheart? What, honey?
Oh yeah. I do honestly though.
I said I do IRL even.
Well, then turn it off if you want it off.
You should see me day to day.
Okay, I'll turn it off.
Literally go full tilt from the time I get out of bed to the time that I lay down.
Give me
And
2
then I
seconds.
don't
I gotta
sleep
shut this
'cause
light off real quick for
insomnia.
mini brass.
I'm
Give me 2
always-
seconds.
Okay.
I'm
2
always
seconds.
really, really low energy on my streams. You know,
That's the way it's got to be, you know.
I'm really low
So,
energy.
I'm
I
going to
keep
take
it
some notes
mellow.
on the fighting tactics that are going to be displayed in these matches.
I want to take that quarterstaff and break it in half and make 2 alley sticks.
okay? That acceptable,
like,
my
I
little
feel
vampire
like
child?
Nightwing's batons is like the idea
Love
that I'm
you.
getting from that.
Kali, Eskrima,
Like,
it's the same kind of
Okay.
fighting.
So like
Just
Nightwing
like
kind
being
of
in
thing.
dark rooms. Oh my god, she is
Stab
my
her.
Eskrima is a little
child.
different from
Into, like,
Kali.
sticks.
Kali, you hold the very end of the weapon. Eskrima, you leave like a basically a hand width at the bottom. It's actually used for a lot of hooking and manipulation.
Oh, we're
I've also
having
got some,
conversations about.
I've also got some
now.
weapons in mind that I'm gonna use in the arena.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay, cool.
Soon as he was telling me about the fights, like the fights in the arena and stuff, I'm just like, all right, so how are we gonna utilize this to our advantage?
Yep. So, as far as the brackets, you would see the brackets before the lantern lighting happens. So, Lightryder is up first, and then Quinn, you're up immediately after that. Lightryder is going to be fighting another striker chassis, and Quinn, you get the unfortunate of fighting a Titan chassis. Yeah, it's a Titan chassis.
Titan.
Yep. So
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
your first fight is against a Titan. Lightryder, your first fight is against a striker. So
No, Jack, we're just gonna go like crush your head. Crush.
I crush it.
Meanwhile, looking at the brackets as well. Or do we see the brackets from the audience?
They are posted for public view. So if you wanted to go and look at them,
They're written on paper.
in this case, they're actually on screens. So you know what? Smart Alec.
Just
You're such a
huge
brat.
piece of paper.
I'm looking at the screen and I'm
The
talking to
whole
Ralph.
screen is just
I'm
written,
like-
handwritten on paper. It's all around the whole
Yeah.
arena.
Got like a
Hey, Ralph.
TV border, but it's paper on
Brad's
the
gonna
inside.
stab me. Just gonna find some way for something to drop on my Mech's head.
It's fine. You put yourself in this situation. What
I'm just
happens to
teasing with
you
you.
now is up to
I did
you.
nothing. I had no choice in this. All right, so who am I fighting? Well, let's go.
We're fighting
We
a
haven't
striker.
even.
Sorry,
We'll
JD.
get there. We'll get there.
Hey, so
Patience.
I'm looking at
That
the
was the
screen.
joke. That was the joke, you guys. I understand.
Okay.
I understand. That was
Okay.
that was.
I'm looking
What's
at
up,
the
Mashi?
screen.
That was the through line.
So I'm looking at the screen. I'm gonna talk to Ralph. So I'm like, you know what? Even if Quinn is going against a Titan, I feel like he's a bit crazy enough to pull out a win. What do you think?
He just needs to bob and weave, not get caught in a trap. But he's reckless, so hopefully that does not count against him.
What do you think about Lightryder's match?
If the last few engagements were anything, Lightryder needs to be more precise with his shots. He keeps glancing off.
Listen.
Agreed.
I only miss every other shot. I was hitting 50% of my shots. You almost died.
Yeah, but why you
I
died?
missed a
First of
couple
all,
of
total
shots. You
LOC.
came back missing a leg and missing an arm, and you're throwing shade.
No, I
at
was
me,
only missing
limping,
armor.
barely
I
were.
still
Have
had
they
half
even
of my
fixed
overall
your mech
health
yet?
left.
Have they even fixed your
Yes.
mech yet?
Yes,
No.
the mechs are
Get
fixed.
back to me when they fix your mech.
First of all, I
Hey,
had
Pat,
half my
I
overall
feel like this
health.
would
If
be
you would've
very
taken one of
entertaining if
those
Light
beams,
Rider
you
was
would be
just
missed.
Brad, I feel like this would be a
Talking
hell of
about,
a
I miss shots. You miss shot. You're just shot, and your head's a thin candy shell.
I feel like it'd be a hell of entertaining if like JD just went on the microphone, like the overhead announcement system, saying like, "No, what are you doing? No, I miss every other shot. What? No."
50% of the time, every time.
Oh god.
I came up to get some chicken nuggies at the same place that you guys were getting some chicken nuggies, and they're Japanese chicken nuggies. Don't at me.
That's fine.
Takoyaki.
Karaage.
No, it's just
Karaage.
chicken
crispy meat.
nugget.
Karaage.
Chicken nugget.
Karaage.
Okay.
Karaage.
Karaage beats the
Chicken
crap out of
nugget.
any chicken nugget you'll
Nugget,
ever
yes.
have.
Damn straight.
Isn't that the
I'm
plan?
with you.
Isn't that the ship we're on, Chicken Nuggy? Isn't that the?
No,
It's not the.
not even
Big chicken
close.
nugget in space.
Bitch, you're just on a giant chicken nugget and what is this?
Oh,
I
he's
just feel
intimidating
like
would
at this
that be?
point, Ralph might smack Lightryder enough to just kind of send him flying to a cartoonish little when he lands.
For a change, it's not Quinn.
That's all, folks.
Okay. Just stop
Guys.
talking about my shooting issues. Listen. Just next time you don't almost die, and then you can say something about my issues shooting.
I didn't even take half my damage. You shot well, but you can't swing a sword to save your
Oh
life.
my god. I was gonna ask if we were done, but clearly we're not done.
Nobody's talking to you
done
anymore,
now.
Baldy. Eat some
So
more.
this
Eat
light
some more.
festival that we're
Yeah,
going to,
so-
the lantern lighting.
Yeah, so this lantern lighting thing that needs to happen before you guys can fight, we should probably get to that.
We should.
Okay.
Francis
got
is
a
like,
lighter.
I didn't think you guys were gonna get the fight yet. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
Definitely not getting to the fights.
I mean, if you guys
Safest
keep
seems to have an
going.
open flame on a spaceship.
All right, Fraz, take us to the lantern lights.
JD, let me them.
No, the zoom doesn't work so well when you're in a cropped window. by the way.
Yeah.
What do you
See,
mean?
Jack's works.
What do you mean?
Oh my
Because
god,
Jack
these
knows how
two.
to frame his shot.
Oh, shots fired.
Ooh.
No pun intended on the shots fired thing.
Totally pun intended. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I
so
totally know how to frame my shots.
Hey, Sir Charles is back.
Sir Charrington. So pulling us back in. We're coming back in. We're coming back in. You two know your opponents. You also know that the Ryu twins are up against another Saber pilot, specifically in the first round. So that is the information you are able to get out of it. And before it begins, as they clear the field in between the start and end of each bracket. So, meaning that the amateur brackets, the field gets cleared, and at the end of the professional brackets, the field will get cleared again at the end of the night.
Zamboni. Got it.
Yeah, they're Zamboniing the field at the moment.
Bamboni.
And now, granted, they're not going to be able to get every single little piece of mech because that's a lot of machinery to clear in not a lot of time.
Yeah, now I'm thinking about Deadpool. It's very nice to meet you.
So, at any rate,
What's hot?
Oh yeah.
All right, come on. Let's go. Continue.
Okay, we need to stop. We need to let Fraz do this before she kills
Nope.
us all.
this is fine. You guys just keep going, and we just won't get to the fights tonight. This is fine.
It'll give her more time to ruin us later in the fights.
Mm-hmm. So, as the field is being cleared, the arena stands empty, and everyone proceeds towards the official lantern lighting. Now, there have been several people kind of coming back and forth, going to a specific area in the upper residential district. As you approach and the stream of people comes in, everyone is handed a plain lantern. And while it is an open flame, it gives off no fumes, no exhaust. It's just fire, which is not strange to you because this is the only fire you've ever known. So, you are all presented.
Use that one as often as you can, isn't she?
JD, well, I brought you into this campaign. I can kick you out of it. Stop being a brat.
Mosh asked me to do it this week since he did it last week.
Sure.
Next week it'll be Theo's week.
Sure.
Damn it.
Gotta wait for my turn.
I am
It's
very
your
confused.
week,
So-
okay, Jack.
At any rate,
Ooh.
you all proceed with this lantern in your hand.
This plane-shaped lantern.
Yeah, it's a box. It's essentially just a paper box with a
You said
flame.
It was a plane
in the
lantern.
middle.
I get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was shaped like an airplane.
No, plain meaning undecorated. Yeah. So,
Took it too literally.
like you have done with everything tonight. So, you proceed up several sets of stairs where at the top you... Don't blame Jack. Jack didn't do anything. He's in here
apparently said
in my
something.
chat saying I blame Jack. At any rate, you reach the top, and at the zenith of this of the towers. Like, you are at this point, you have climbed enough stairs to be at the top of the residential towers. So this is about 8-ish stories, give or take. And at the top there is just as far as the eye can see, a black monument. And as you get closer, it seems plain, but as you get closer, you see names. Hundreds, thousands of names. And along the base of this monument, which stretches across the entire upper residential district and 3 rows back, there are lanterns just everywhere, littering the ground. And it gives this soft, warm, fiery glow to the names of all the people who have been lost since the Nishimura has left. There's a separate monument for military personnel, but this one is for civilians. And as you advance to place your lanterns at the base of this monument, some of you recognize names, some of you don't. Some of you don't know if you recognize any of these names. But there is this air of somber, quiet reverence that falls over everyone. And you take a moment there, remembering the director's words during your graduation ceremony, and allowing that weight of all of these people to kind of sink into your shoulders a little bit. Realizing that while you are going to go in a moment and absolutely stomp some fools in an arena, you will eventually be called again and again and again to protect the people of this ship. Especially now that you have re-entered the star system from which this ship originated, and are faced with an enemy of unfathomable might. But you take this quiet moment and reflect on your training and think to the future a little bit.
Quinn, seeing all the names of the civilians that had died during this recent attack and the attacks of many recent attacks, feels a fury and a fire build inside of him, and almost bolsters himself for the fight that's coming, and it's gonna try to take that energy into that fight.
Hey, Fraz, can you just do a quick favor? Just look at your DM real quick. I just need a quick answer.
Sure can.
Babies are made when a woman...
What about Mech, though?
Mech babies are made when...
I would say that you know of 3.
Okay.
And you recognize, you would recognize at least one name in this immediate vicinity.
Okay. So Ralph, with his lantern, before, moving on any farther, he's going to write down the one name that he does recognize, and then just make 2 additional marks on the lantern before moving on.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Look up at the monument. I see some, I see others that are not, but I remember my slum brethren. I think about it. Kind of get a little ticked, pissed, but still have a solemn, cold look in my eyes, not revealing any type of emotion. I mark my lantern, and then I move forward.
Quinn proceeds to look at his lantern and kind of reflects on everything that's happened in the recent times, and almost vows to protect as many lives as he can by being a pilot and putting his life at risk to protect these people that keep him alive and have helped him over the coming years since he was found, lighting the lantern and letting it fly high above, and almost reminiscing on the years past since joining the Iron Dawn.
Okay.
Your turn, JD.
Lightryder's just standing waiting on y'all to be done with all the sentimental stuff.
Not one for the touchy-feelies, are we?
But he's not being disrespectful.
Yeah.
He's just standing off to the side. Ready when y'all are.
All right.
Just kind of feel like we gotta my name's Lightryder kind of moment.
Right, Lightryder on the lantern and lets it fly.
No, just don't. Lightryder just doesn't get. He just doesn't want to get. There's too many people that have died, and if you start thinking about it for too long, you lose your focus on what the mission is. You start to get scared. You start to get nervous, and then you could die, or you could let your teammates down. So he doesn't really believe it's the best of ideas to just be sitting around feeling sorry about stuff. Even if it is a memorial, we're remembering them. We've done it. Now let's move along. That's how he rolls.
All right. And with that, once all of your lanterns are placed and your own moments have passed, you head back down the stairs. You head back down the stairs and back towards the arena where it's time to duke it out.
Can we just off topic? Can I say that I believe that you need a cat parrot? No. Oh, come back, cat parrot, come back.
Also, JD.
Can we write that into the lore, please?
Cat parrot. We can make this happen.
A cat on his shoulder all the time in his mech. That'd be brilliant. Okay.
JD, one quick note.
Future SPCA on us for that.
Yeah. One quick note during these fights. I don't know if you heard me say it earlier, but you will have 10 hit points.
Okay.
Your armor points stay the same. You don't have access to one with the machine.
Yeah, I heard that.
Okay, just making sure.
That part. Yeah,
Cool.
Oh, because I'm up first, right?
You're up first. Yep.
Okay.
So.
Is that
Get a little good luck.
Mm-hmm. There are a couple of fights before you. Pretty much kind of inconsequential, like just your typical military personnel fighting on their mechs for sport.
Just normal. Totally normal.
It is actually totally normal. This is a thing that happens.
Instead of the golden glove, it's the golden gears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing new for me. I'm used to it for my whole life.
Yep. This is totally familiar territory for you. And those a couple of fights are completed, and then someone comes and retrieves you from the stands where you have some time to kind of acclimate yourself with this unfamiliar striker chassis. Familiar but unfamiliar.
Is this one going to take time for my brain to get adjusted to?
There's no neural ports. This is relying solely upon your training.
Is old school.
Yeah.
This is manual.
This is manual. This relies solely on your training.
Analog mech control.
Yep.
Great.
Meets SAC input.
I feel like I'm at home. Okay,
You're no longer driving
like
automatic, buddy.
Yep.
I feel like I'm at home. I love it. Okay.
Stick diff, let's go.
So you are presented with your striker class. So I think that means you're only proficient with light armor or light weapons ? Yeah, light melee weapons. So you are presented with what is essentially a mech-sized quarterstaff. It is a light melee weapon, and that is all that you have. So you have that, and you have your reckless attack as a maverick. You do not have any chassis abilities, and you do not have one with the machine.
I don't even have my pistol?
Nope.
No range.
No ranged. This
Slugfest,
is
baby.
a slugfest.
I can't even have a freaking sword. I get a freaking staff.
You get a pole arm. Yep.
Because you're not supposed to kill anybody.
Well, I know, but I'm not professional. I'm a professional swats.
Well, it's a light melee. It's a light melee weapon. It's so you can a quarterstaff you can wield with 2 hands. You can wield with 1 hand, and it handles similarly to a training sword.
Think about it as a blunt
we go.
weapon
That works
instead
for
of
me.
a flashing
Yep.
weapon.
That works for me.
Yeah. So it's
You
essentially
gave him the equivalent of a bowken.
yeah, pretty much. It's a training sword.
No, that would be an Iaito. A bowken is a wooden training sword.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
A kendo stick.
Oh, you kid.
Essentially, yeah. So
Wow, that's something completely different. That's
It is.
slotted
Alright.
bamboo.
yep. So semantics aside, it handles similarly to how your sword would handle.
Thank you. That's what I was looking for. Okay.
Additionally, there are now 3 mechs that have been disabled and are on the field. So they are obstacles as well as potential cover for you. So, yep. So you enter the arena and
All
are
right, so-
presented.
What am I fighting?
You are presented with another striker chassis.
Okay.
So,
Do I know the person in it?
nope.
Okay.
This person is kind of one of those not of consequence folks. Just a name
In other
on
words,
a
if you
sheet that you
lose-
have to fight.
Oh, I don't
Yeah, if
lose
you
these
lose,
fights. All right, what do we
gonna
got?
laugh at you and get mad at
So
you.
I need you to go ahead and roll a mobility or systems test, whichever is higher. And we'll see who goes first.
Is that the 20 or the 8?
That's the 20.
You got to
You're-
roll under.
Yeah, you're testing.
back.
You are testing mobility.
2.
Okay, so that is a success for you. So we will say that you get the upper hand and you get to go first. So you see this similar, pretty much exactly the same as what you're in, striker chassis across from you. What would you like to do?
Everything's at near distance. Everything's close to me, right?
Yep.
So I'm in range to go ahead. I mean, we have the same weapons. We have
Yep.
the same chassis.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just going head to head with this guy. There's
Yep.
nothing.
This
I'm
is
better
just a
trained.
pure-
I'm better than. Let me just beat this guy
pure
in the
brawl.
face with my stick. Here,
Yeah.
take my stick to your face. Enjoy that. That's a 2.
All right. Okay. Go ahead and
All
roll
I'm imagining is a
for.
kendo match and JD's mech just yelling, "Men!"
Yeah, go ahead and roll for damage.
4.
Okay. So you come up and manage to take the staff and jam it up into a shoulder joint where you pop off some of the armor.
That could have gone differently for him, but we went for the shoulder instead.
Went for the shoulder because you were a critical hit is still center of mass in a striker chassis, which is the chest.
Gotcha.
So
Okay. And then do I still have another move?
yeah, if you want to, yep.
Let me, can I back away into a defensive position?
Sure.
Or should I how many more, is there a way for me to know how bad I've hurt him?
They are literally all the same, so your armor points and your hit points is exactly what they have too.
Ah, okay. So he's now got like 6 HP left. Okay.
Well, you're chunking armor at this point.
Oh, my bad. All
Yep.
right. Yeah, let's just keep, gosh. Are there, okay. On the battlefield, are there no other weapons on the battlefield? Is there anything on the battlefield
There's
that could be utilized as a weapon?
Mechs. Disabled mecha.
And all of them have the same training weapons. There's no ranged weapon that I can get my hands on.
Nope.
All right, well, that's
The only thing you can do is probably use an improvised weapon. So
You could hook
Improvised
something.
Dirty.
No, I mean I already got my stick. I just okay, yeah, I mean I just really don't it's just that I lose if I attack again, I know it's not as effective. So
Oh, it's a reactor roll.
Yeah.
exactly.
You'd have to roll a
So,
reactor.
It's almost like I want to back away and get into a defensive position or something. Just
Okay.
to prevent having to deal with that. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, cool. So, it is their turn. Unfortunately, for you, has the critical success on their attack. Sorry, buddy. Yeah. So that is 7 points of armor, specifically. Yeah, seven. They hit you for 7. Let me double check. You might have to roll a reactor if you get hit with a critical hit.
God dang it.
Going defensive didn't help me. I should have hit him again in the face.
As I watch the fight, I'm just like, God damn it, Phoenix, don't make me lose 2 credits on you, buddy.
I'm not losing 2 credits. This guy's.
Come on, bring in the money.
What did I say? Precision.
Yeah, I need you to roll a reactor die. I need you to roll a reactor die for me. So that's your D8.
Hopefully Jack does better, Ralph.
4.
Okay, so that's a success. So you don't overheat. They are going to attempt to attack you again. And they miss. So.
Okay, now I'm actually actively pissed. And
does he hear our comments in the audience, by the way?
Do what?
Does he hear our comments in the audience?
No.
Okay.
I can let me use my first move to get behind them and then to attack from behind.
Okay.
And that's a 2 again.
Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll for damage.
5.
Okay, so with this, you successfully strip away armor across the center of mass and deal damage internally as well.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was both of my moves, right?
Yep, because you took a move action to get behind him, and then you took another action to attack. Yes.
Cool.
Sorry, I just had to
ASMR stream, we know.
well, I was chewing, and I also had to do some quick math in my head for how much HP they have left. So.
Did you chew as many times as you... Never mind. 2, 3.
So, that attack was more like it. You started getting behind him. Smart.
So,
The flippin' peanut gallery.
They are going to attempt for an elbow jab at you without turning around. That is a success. And
I'm amazing. How did I not see it coming? This mech is slow.
well, it's power versus power is how this is working. So you don't necessarily get a mobility check on all of the attacks.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
because you're in such close proximity with them, it's their power, essentially saying whether or not they succeed or fail. 4 points of damage. And they are going to take a move action to pull back from you, and not wanting to, and they're gonna take cover behind another mech to try and prevent you from being able to get that first attack in on them.
No attack of opportunity for them retreating, is there?
There is, yes. So go ahead and roll your power test to see if you hit them when they run away.
While they do that, Ralph, I feel like it would be a really nice Lightryder threw his
It's a
stick at
6.
him.
Okay, so go ahead and roll damage.
Hopefully he's precise enough.
It's a 7.
Okay, so
I think we might have finally done some damage.
yeah, as they run away, trying to just get away from you and prevent themselves from being crippled anymore. You come down with the momentum that you had coming back from getting the elbow jab, and just utilizing that and cracking down straight on top of the mech. They are considered disabled. That is not what I wanted to do. Hold on. Hold, please. So I have to see what happens to their mech.
Them gonna die.
Hey, Ralph. So do I get my 2 creds because you just disabled that mech?
No. That's if you're betting on the whole thing, dude.
Yeah, you're betting on the whole thing. I bet that I was going to come in the top 10. So see.
So they are.
To my bets. Jack and I are smart gamblers.
So they are currently disabled, and as far as you can tell, their systems are down. So
Then let me just go over there and, as Lightryder would, just make sure they don't get back up.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a power.
Mech completely.
Yeah, you will roll a power test with advantage against a disabled mech.
And that's a 6.
Okay. So no damage because this is a non-lethal tournament, but you do essentially. How would you like to finish off this mech?
Oh, I mean, literally, I would just kind of walk up to it, tap on the window, and go. and then once they got out, I would just take my foot and stomp through the glass on the face of the mech.
Okay.
That would be that.
All right. I'm about it. Okay, so that is a win for Lightryder.
Of course, it's a win for Lightryder. Akina too.
So it was foolish of them to run with their backs still turned. You need to watch your opponent at all times. Good job for the Lightryder.
Good job for you for calling it through the comms like you did, Ralph.
So
that's not through comms. That's just him talking to Signus.
Oh, that's me and him.
No, he had to. He must have calmed me because otherwise I wouldn't have known to. I honestly didn't know that you could do something when somebody was backing away.
Yeah,
it was smart of him. So that was teamwork making the dream work.
Yep. You might not have known, but Lightryder knew.
That's right. Well, when you said that, I was like, oh, yes, this is such my idea. Mine. I had it all on my own.
That was a little out of character help since I know you're not super familiar with roleplay combat.
Yep. So, another fight will be taking place in between that fight and Quinn's fight. So, Quinn, during this in-between match, you are able to, again, go and get acquainted with this unfamiliar mech and this unfamiliar weapon. You're muted. Jack, you're muted. There you go.
I didn't know I was muted.
Yep.
So as I'm getting into my mech and I'm getting this quarterstaff oriented in my hands, I'd actually like to take it and break it into half and have two weapons now.
Okay. All right. I'm about it. I will say that that as you do that, they make sure to instruct you to use the blunt side of the weapons.
Stabby.
Yeah, no stabbies. No stabby stab.
Hey, Ralph.
This is a battlefield.
By the way.
Sorry. This is a battlefield.
Hey, Ralph. Any points would you like to give on Lightryder? Any pros and cons? So I can write it down.
I think he did a smart thing by getting behind the enemy, keeping them keeping himself in their blind spot is very good.
Noted.
Yeah, I wish I had done.
I should
probably head over.
Other than precision.
I'm gonna find these two knuckleheads, even though I'm still kind of ticked off with Joker. We've been together too long, and like over however long that we've all been together, over a decade or whatever.
Yeah, at least. Yep.
That it just is what it is, and this isn't the first time that it's happened, and we've gotten pissed at each other. So I'm gonna go back and I'll keep Ralph between us because I know Ralph will. But I'm gonna go and sit back with the team. So
there you go.
Bonk.
Okay, so
anything else, Ralph? Other than precision for cons?
Nope. He's getting better.
Okay, precision. All right, now on to Quinn.
So, Quinn, as you have snapped your staff in half, and you are staff in half. You are then escorted onto the battlefield, and across from you is a monstrous Titan chassis. Not quite as big as Ralph's, but still really big compared to you, as well as the mech that was defeated by Lightryder and the mech that was defeated in the last round. So there are now a total of 6 mechs on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
So go ahead and roll your mobility test for me. See who goes first.
8.
All right, I rolled a 2. So that's a success for you still, but you do get to go first on this one.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yep.
Bless you.
Bless you, Livy.
Bless you,
Bless
little
you.
nugget.
Bless you, Goober. She's not listening. She's got her headphones on.
I would like to use my turn to push off the wall behind me and push into the back behind this Titan.
Okay, so you are so are you trying to just get around him? Like, how are we doing that? Sorry.
I'm vaulting to the side of him.
Also known as the
okay.
Phoenix maneuver.
Gotcha.
I'm just kidding.
Okay, gotcha. So jump jets without jump jets. Got it. All right, cool.
Yeah, improvised jump jets.
Okay, cool. I'm about it. So that's your move action, so you still have an action.
If I use my second action, don't I have to test my reactor?
Only if you do use 2 actions that are the same.
Okay.
So if you do a move action and an attack action, it's not a reactor test.
2 attacks?
It's 2 of the same action. So if you take 2 move actions, then it's hi, Speedy. Then it's
Gotcha.
Hi, Mini Fred.
Hi, Manny
2 of the same.
Frazzalot.
Oh my!
A door
So
explosion.
sweet.
Aw,
You're so
little nugget,
sweet.
Hi.
You want to come sit in my lap for a little bit?
I think I'll potty.
Okay. I love you.
Don't fall in.
Wait, what did you have?
I had
Truth
chips.
No,
Do
hey,
you-
listen,
you can have
I
one
got
when you're
stuck
done.
in a toilet when I was about that age, so
Same.
it's not funny.
Same. That'll mess you up.
Traumatizing. It's not funny.
So,
Put the seat down.
Saber Deceiver, what are you doing against this Titan chassis?
So now that I'm oriented behind them, I would like to take one of the half quarter staffs, which would be like a 8th staff at this point, and I would like to jam it into the socket joint of the right leg.
Okay. I'm going to give you a +2 on that attack since it's a targeted attack. So go ahead and roll your power and add 2 to it.
Convinced she likes Jack more
Holy
than she
flip!
likes
I got
me.
a 20.
So that is a critical failure.
Never mind. I take it back.
Natural 20, overall 22.
Yeah.
How do you pull that off? How do you pull that off?
I just kind of like put the dice in my hand and kind
There's
of rolled it.
skill there, Moo. There's skill. I'm proud of you.
So
It takes a lot of effort to
Jack.
be a mess up.
Jack, wrong system.
Yeah, I know.
yeah,
right?
right. If only.
He's on the roles
any
you're
advice
looking
on this
for.
one?
His only chance is to move quick and not get caught, but he's
So,
reckless and he usually is overconfident in his abilities. So we'll see what happens.
So as you go to try and jam this half of the staff into the socket behind the knee, the Titan.
So specific.
Well, listen, he said it. Okay.
I know, it just hurts my knee.
Oddly specific.
So the Titan chassis not able to move in order to dodge this attack, but just kind of slaps you over away to the side, kind of like a little fly flip. Yeah, he's just like, nah, B, not today. So I'm gonna need you to go ahead and roll a mobility test for me.
We're not rolling this one. This go on.
Dice jail. Yeet.
I love that. See,
Fine. This is
Okay.
the dice.
All right,
The
cool.
dice's
So
fault.
that is a success. So you avoid taking damage, but you are knocked prone. So currently, right now, you are like on your
like
back.
a planking position.
You are, yeah. You're on your back. You kind of took a tumble, and you're on your back at the moment.
Okay, cool.
With that being said,
How
this.
far am I from them in this point? Am I still near distance?
Yeah, he didn't fling you too far. Like I would say that you're probably at least within 1 move action of him. But you took a barrel roll as you kind of were flipped through the arena. So with that said, this Titan is going to take its move action to get to you and attempt to quite literally curb stomp you.
Obviously, they have done this before.
Yeah.
Hey, Ralph, this does not look good. Like
that is a success. So that is because it is an improvised weapon. That's a D8. So that's 8 points of damage to you.
Holy flip.
Which goes
armor points?
through your armor first.
Sorry, can you say that again? That was kind of confusing.
It goes through your armor first. So so it's total of 8. So that would be to you, that'd be 6 armor, and then 2 HP damage total.
So, Jack, your arm is your creature, and that thing just hit you for 8 with trample.
Yeah. No, I'm just kind of confused how damage got through armor, even though I still have armor points.
Because it annihilated your armor.
Okay. Cool.
In that instance, like when he came in.
That's the part that I didn't understand.
Yeah, so he essentially came and curb stomped the head off of your mech. In doing so, sheared off part of the armor of the upper torso and leaving core systems exposed, which would be part of your HP as well. So
let it all hang out.
Essentially, yeah. And that is the end of its turn, so it's your turn.
Okay. So at this point, it's what's on me, isn't it?
Well, it's not your head. The head of your mech is no longer connected to the body.
Cool. We don't need that thing anyways. Okay. I would once again like to jump on its leg and try to. Actually, I would like to grapple the leg if possible.
Okay. Go ahead and that'll just be a power test for you.
Jack's going Chihuahua.
Which is a success for you, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Just chewing away on the leg.
Would that be considered an attack movement where I just jumped onto it?
I would say that would be more of like, I guess we could consider it like a use action.
Okay.
So if you wanted to attack again, I wouldn't make you roll a reactor for it.
Okay. I would like to try to attempt to stab the 8th staff into that joint again.
Okay.
I'm not letting him get away.
Okay, go ahead and take your attack with a +2 again.
2!
All right, so that's a success. Go ahead
Wouldn't
and...
that be a crit success because of the +2?
No.
No, only if you roll a natural 1.
Okay.
So if you roll a natural 1, then it's a critical success. Otherwise, it's just plain old Jano.
If we were playing D&D, this would be a disadvantage, a -2.
Yeah.
It's an opposite system.
Yep.
But Jack, just know I think you're a +10. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I like that button a lot.
I've been able. I could tell.
Yeah.
So on this one, go ahead and roll your damage die.
Damage die?
Yep. So it's a D6 for you, I believe.
That's a 5.
Okay, 5 points of damage to this Titan, which I will say, because of your grapple and because of the way that you have hit specifically this joint, that damage is going to go straight through to HP because you have found a chink in the armor and have been able to deal damage directly to it. And as you do so, you are still grappled to it, but the knee buckles and comes down. Yep, knee buckles and comes down, so it is now kneeling, essentially with you like chihuahuaing on its leg.
Oh yeah.
What I'm telling you, the only dog I'm afraid of are chihuahuas.
Chihuahuas are terrifying. They're
The
evil.
part is, Jack, right now you're a headless chihuahua.
You just turned chihuahua into a verb.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
That's English for you. You can do whatever the hell you want with it.
Chihuahua, shebang.
Chihuahuaing.
Remember, English doesn't so much
Chihuahuaing.
borrow from other languages as it does follow them into a dark hallway, knock them unconscious, and rummage around in their pockets for loose grammar.
Yep.
Yep. So Ralph, what about this one? What'd you say would be a pro?
Hold on, ask the question again.
So what do you think about this?
Yes, I am a pro.
What is the pro for Jack's skill set in this, or his way of fighting?
If you can limit the mobility of the larger mech and stay out of its reach, stick and move. Stick and move.
So the mech does, the Titan chassis does attempt to kind of like just hit you off of its leg. Its leg is now completely crippled and its movement speed is at the very least halved. But it does land a hit on you since you are grappled to it. I'm going to give you a power test to see if you remain grappled.
1.
Okay, critical success. So, with that, you do still suffer 2 points of damage.
To armor or health?
So at this point it's health because you don't have enough armor to block it at this point.
Ouch.
So you're taking HP damage now.
I might get you to explain to me the hit point thing afterwards because I don't completely understand. I feel like if I still have armor that it doesn't.
Yeah,
I
it's
might get you to
weird.
explain that to me a little
It's
later.
weird. I don't really fully, I'm gonna be honest, it's not well written. So I'm kind of just going off of the way that I think it works.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'll get you to explain that maybe
Yeah.
tonight, like
Okay.
after the session, or just so I understand.
cool.
Because I'm reckless and I'm gonna use that to my advantage.
I know. So, 2 points of damage. It is going to attempt to try and pry you off. So this is going to be another. It's going to be more of like a not necessarily an attack. It's not going to try and do damage. It's just trying to get you off of it at this point.
It's a disengage.
Is that the
basically.
same? Is that the same thing it did before?
No. So before it straight up just slapped you.
got
But
backhanded.
because you critically failed, it's more for flavor than anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spice and everything nice. Okay. Cool.
Yep. So, but it does not. It can't quite get a hold of your tiny little scout frame in its massive Titan hands. So it's like trying, but all it's managing to do is kind of like scratch its leg a little bit. Doesn't manage to actually pull you off.
My back.
Yeah. Doesn't manage to actually pull you off. So it is your turn.
Creativity +1.
But it's your turn again. So
It's my turn again.
it is your turn again. Yes.
Okay, so I would like to continue to climb up into the center of the back,
Okay.
where it is improbable that he's going to be able to grab me.
Okay.
Oh God! Did anybody ever watch Mantis? It's the snakes.
Would that be a mobility check?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give you a mobility check on that one.
I mean, I'm probably dating myself with
Holy
that sci-fi
flip, I
show
got,
there.
I
Have you
got
ever saw the
18.
Mantis?
You got a what?
18, so that would be.
Ooh, that's a failure for you. So unfortunately, you still are. I would say that you're still considered grappled, but you don't quite get to the spot where you know that you'll be
Wanting
safe
to
from
be?
back
Okay.
swatting.
As far as like orientation of the back, where would you say? Mid back, low back?
I would say you're probably mid back.
Mid-back?
And probably off to the side of the disabled leg. So you're
Okay, cool. Is there anything exposed from the armor that I had removed?
make a systems check for me real quick.
Can I not?
They're
Nope.
still there. They're still there. Tell her they're still there.
11.
checked.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's my systems.
As far as what you can tell, nothing really sticks out to you. So, but you're free to make just a regular attack if you'd like.
It's gonna sound really weird, but like this is a normal attack for me from day to day. But like, I did I take the piece with me after I jabbed it into the knee?
Yeah. I would say
Yeah?
I would
Okay.
say probably I would say that if you wanted to, you did. Otherwise, I will
Okay.
say no.
I would like to stick that part of the quarterstaff where the sun don't shine.
Okay. Go ahead and roll
Thank you.
power.
Somebody was gonna do it eventually.
Go ahead and roll your power test.
Lol.
Oh my God! This reminds me of like
A
Star
7.
Siege. One
Okay.
of the mechs had the reactor right in the crotch.
Deal damage. Go ahead and do damage.
We're gonna do the fancy one.
Do it.
Hi!
All right. Okay, so
Gotta be limping out of the
you,
arena.
with that, you manage to pry off parts of the armor and leave some of the systems exposed at this point, so you could take a targeted attack on your next turn.
Zach.
If he lives that long.
If he lives that
Plus
long.
1 to creativity.
Right? Hey, you know what? That's the beautiful thing about this particular system is it allows for so much creativity. It's great. I love it.
My bread and butter.
Right? Okay, so at this point, it is going to attempt to swat at you on its back.
It's gonna spank its own butthole.
It's gonna try. It's at disadvantage, but it still passes.
I left the staff in this time.
He's got 2 of them. He can do without 1 of them. But trust me, you don't want that one back.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that's a fair point.
It's I mean, it's in a mech. It's in the backside of the mech, not the backside of the human. It's not like it's like gonna have
how far I went in, JD.
Jack, go ahead and roll a mobility test for me.
Mobility?
Oh.
5.
Okay, so it does deal 1 damage to you, but you are able to avoid the majority of the damage as you are clinging onto the back of this thing. But
armor.
It's HP at this point. Everything from here on is HP. So once your
armor, though.
Once your armor is gone,
I still have armor.
You still have armor?
4 armor. I still have 4 armor. That's why I was asking before why it was dealing damage to me.
Okay, so how much armor points did I tell you had?
I have 10.
That was supposed to be 10 HP, I think.
10
I think
HP.
You had regular army.
Yeah.
Regular armor.
You should still have had your 6 armor points and 10 HP.
Oh, sorry, I was mistaken.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so this is at that's at 0. Sorry, I thought you had said armor.
No, to HP.
Okay. So that means I need to add 1 more. So I have 6 health. Okay. And then you said I took a damage point? Okay.
You took 1 damage.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so basically all your armor has been ablated at this point.
Yeah, it's
sorry. That's why I was asking before how it got through. That's,
yeah,
okay, that's where the confusion was. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Cool. So do we understand that now that we're both on the same page as far as okay?
It was because I was like, well, I still have armor. Why is it hitting me?
I was okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay, we're on the same page now. That's what's important. Okay, cool. So that is its action. It's going to try and actually shit, no, it can't do that because it's
earmuffs.
Hey, 18 plus stream. It's in the description. It's fine.
Oh yeah.
I'm allowed to curse. I'm allowed to curse right now. So it's I can't. I was gonna say it was gonna take a movement action, but it's crippled movement wise.
Oh, I have to take a movement.
-1 for positioning, +1 for reaction. What do you think, Ralph? Agree or disagree?
He's using his small size to his advantage, which is good, but he's got to be careful. All that thing needs to do is roll over on him.
It's funny that you mentioned that.
Muppets? Does anybody remember the 2 old Muppets?
The ones up in the
That's these 2 through this entire thing. Okay, they're just smack talking up in the. There's no.
I'm not smack talking. I'm taking records and to give it.
Were there Muppets in this universe?
Don't you know there's the analysis commentator and then there's the color commentator.
So speaking of. Speaking of rolling over,
drinking.
No, I hit.
So speaking of rolling over, it attempts to kind of tuck and roll and essentially squash you underneath just the bare weight of its frame. I will give you a mobility test to try and see if you get out of that.
3.
See, when she said how close is the barrier, I knew that's what she was thinking.
She was trying to like back and smush me. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was thinking that it could like just take him to the wall, but then I remembered that its leg is crippled and it can't walk that far. So, okay, so you succeed. You don't take any damage. You manage to get off of its back before it comes boom, slamming down into the dust and dirt.
How is the mech oriented at this point?
So at this point, it is on its back. And you, because you passed your mobility test, I would say that you were able to pop off of it and land on your feet.
Can I put a little bit of creativity into this?
Go for it.
Yes.
I jumped and propped myself to the wall, ready to press off of it.
Okay. So it's your turn.
He's going off the ropes.
Yeah, so it is your turn.
Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man right here.
So go ahead and do what you're gonna do.
So I would be behind it, right? Like it would be laying back and I would be behind.
So it front flips, so you are facing its feet currently. Its feet are closest to you.
I would like to take a very heroic jump and take the other piece of my quarterstaff and drive it directly through the chest of the Titan.
Okay, you go ahead and roll an attack with advantage because it's prone.
12.
Did you roll with advantage?
What does that mean?
So you roll twice and take the better roll.
Okay, so that was my first roll.
Yep.
Second roll is 14, so...
So unfortunately, I think both of those are failures, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you are able to jump off of the side of the wall and attempt to drive this into the chest area. Unfortunately, the armor there is thickest, and your attack just bounces off with no effect.
Cool.
Ralph, what do you say? +1 for surrounding, -1 for what?
For my second movement, I would like to jump away from and take cover behind one of the downed mechs.
Okay, it does get a swipe at you as you jump away.
Does it while
it's a failure.
prone?
Yeah, it still gets an attack, but it's a failure because it's at disadvantage. So it rolled a 16 and a 17, which 16 is barely passing and a 17 is a fail. So with that, you are now behind cover. And it is its turn. It's going to take one action to get up. And
can it get up?
It can barely. It's essentially like using it. I'll say this. One of the mechs that's downed behind it, it grabs the leg and pulls it off the chassis and is using it kind of as a cane. It still has one.
Holy shit!
It still
I'll
has.
bite your kneecaps off.
Yeah. It still has one leg that is usable and now has a way to prop itself up.
Does that give it a disadvantage because it's only got like one free hand?
Well, hold that thought. Give me a moment. I'm not done.
Hold that thought with your one free hand.
So it gets up and it clambers to the wall for extra support, and it is now going to yeet that leg at you.
Okay.
So
I'm behind cover.
Yeah, I know, it gets disadvantage. And it fails. So they attempt to yeet that leg towards where you were, trying to take out part of the mech as well as you behind it. But unfortunately, they are a little off kilter and it just goes straight over your head. So it is now clinging to the wall and brandishing its pole arm waiting for you to come and attack. Taking as defensive as a stance as a one-legged mech can.
Okay, cool.
So it is your turn.
My turn? Okay, cool. I would like to try to improvise a weapon and pull cabling from the mech in front of me.
Okay. I will give you let's give you a power test to see if you can succeed in yanking the cabling out.
That's a 4.
Okay, that's a success. Nice.
Yay.
So I'm going to consider that a use action, so you have one action left.
I would actually like to swing the cable around just like my chain, and
Okay.
I'd like to try to grapple the still usable leg.
Okay, go ahead, and I will say that this is another power test with a +2.
6.
Okay, that's a success. So are you just pulling the leg out from under him? Are you trying to deal damage at this point, or just want to get him back on his back?
I want him back on his back.
Okay, so I will say that you succeed in doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The leg comes back and it just can't hold on to the wall, so it is once again on its back, and kind of the head. The head, it does a chin to chest kind of thing. JD,
That
So you
wasn't me.
reverse
That was Jack.
Scorpion the
I know
telepathy.
full well that
Totally
was
Jack.
you. I know
Wasn't
full
me.
well that
No,
was
Jack
you.
copied mine. and
Mine are
he
always in
played.
my voice. Or
Jack.
Mine are always in my voice, not the Mech voice. Sorry.
I can't tell which one's Jack and which one's anymore.
So, at any rate, it is prone, but it is its turn. So,
Squirrel.
it's
back up.
It's gonna try. It's gonna try and get back up again, trying to utilize the wall. And at this point, it's going to just try and go for. It's gonna try and just push off the wall and just try and use its center of mass to break through the barricade that you're behind and squish you.
Okay.
Dead yet?
Well, it doesn't matter because it's a disadvantage, but it rolled a 15 and a 5. So on this one, it is not as much damage though. So that is 2 points of damage to you. As it comes and uses the force that it's able to grab by grabbing onto the wall and just pushing backwards, its back first, coming down and just slamming, crushing the mech and you underneath of it, the disabled mech and you underneath of it. So you are now pinned underneath this mech, but it is on its back and can't
Would it not take
can't reach.
damage from doing something so reckless like that?
It did. Don't worry.
This Titan pilot is
Jack's
as
like,
crazy
how am I
as
not supposed to worry? I'm
Quinn is.
underneath a mech and I just got my butt handed.
So Ralph, how's
am I at a
Matt
disadvantage now
Quinn's
because
situation
I'm
looking like
pinned?
from this?
I would say that you're in a disadvantage for any mobility checks or movement. As far
Okay.
as attacks, it's just straight.
Okay, and where in orientation am I to like on their body? Like what part am I pinned on?
Back, primarily. So you are by a strange change of fate exactly where you wanted to be when you were trying to climb up its back. But now you're just pinned between it and the ground.
So would that exposed area be near me?
Unfortunately, no, it's below you. So the top of your mech is essentially behind its head at this point. So its head is essentially laying on your chest.
I would like to take said cable and wrap it around neck and squeeze.
Okay, go right ahead. Power
That
test.
would be power test?
Yep, power test.
Oh, that's an 18.
Ooh, that's a failure, unfortunately.
Would I have advantage on that where I am on their back?
Because of the weight of like just the sheer mass of this Titan chassis, I would say that you do not have advantage on this because you're having trouble just moving around in general. So,
Okay.
but I will say that you do successfully wrap the cabling around, but you just don't have enough.
Force.
You don't have enough force to pull it tight at this point.
Cool.
So, if you want to take another attack, you're welcome to. You just have to roll a reactor. Decisions.
So because I'm pinned, am I able to roll?
No, you would be, I would, well, I mean,
He's stuck
no,
between a
because
mech.
it would take your full action to get out from underneath of it because you're essentially considered grappled by the same kind of circumstance. So it would be an action for you to break the grapple and then an action for you to actually get away. So you're pretty much pinned down in your current position.
I'm going to use my action to break the grapple then.
Okay, go ahead. And this is, you can do power or mobility, whichever one you'd like.
Cool. I'm going to do mobility just to...
Okay.
It's a 15.
All right, which is success, yeah? Okay. Cool, so I will say that you
I either
are...
passed my mobility checks or hit a crit fail.
Yeah. So I will say that you are unpinned, and on your next turn, you'll be able to move freely from there.
Cool.
But it is unfortunately its turn. And it is going to try and sit up, scooch back, and pin you again. So I will give you a mobility test for this to see if you can beat their...
That's a 20. That's a crit
Okay, yeah. So unfortunately, it succeeds in putting you right back into the same position you just got out of. So it sits up, scooches back, and just trust falls essentially on top of you.
Don't worry, baby, I'll catch you.
What would you call that one? Minus 2 for what? Failure to break a grapple?
So, with that,
Just bad luck.
it's just content to have you. Let's see.
It's got me pinned again.
Yeah.
And was that an attack?
No, it's just to see. It was more of a grapple,
Okay.
which is why you didn't take any damage. But I don't think that it can reach you with. It's gonna try. It's gonna try and attack you with its polearm, trying to see if it can get at you, but it's gonna be at disadvantage. It still succeeds. So, and that's 4 points of damage.
Wow, the timing on that music. I mean, it came to climax, and as soon as you announced the damage, silence.
That's 0.
Perfect.
Are you at 0? Okay.
Wow.
So,
Timing on that music. to
I
end that
need
fight
you
was
to
awesome.
roll a d8 for me, Jack.
A D8.
D8.
Jack.
That's a D8, correct?
It's this one. That's a d10. So it's this one.
It's the one with 8 sides.
It looks like
The
two
diamond.
pyramids smushed together.
Yeah.
The
I think that's a
is
D10
the
that you have.
10 size.
No, this only has 8 numbers on it.
Oh, well, it just looks weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's a
Yeah,
diamond.
that's it. Okay, never mind. It looked weird when you held it up. A 4. Okay, so you have disadvantage on attacks at this point, but you can still function until you are fully disabled.
Cool. My turn?
It is your turn, yes.
All right, I am going to yank that cable so freaking hard because
All right.
I am so mad at this point.
With all of the might left in your disabled tiny little scout's body. Go for it.
All right, so that's a power check.
Yep.
14.
That's a failure for you, yeah. Yeah. So, unfortunately, as you expend the rest of the power left in this scout mech, your systems on your HUD inside of the mech go dark. And at this point, you know that you have lost.
I'd like to get out of the mech and fight with my pilot.
I don't think
You
that's
think
how
I'm
the
joking?
tournament works.
Unfortunately, as soon as you get out of the mech, they escort you off of the battlefield.
I kick the Titan before I leave.
Okay.
Give him the finger.
And where he was going to give you kind of a well done thing, he's just like, okay, and just like walks off.
So mad right now.
Good thing for you, it's double elimination, so you've lost one, but you have a chance to try again.
Kind of like, I'm coming for you.
All right, Ralph. let's review Quinn's stats for a bit.
So I will say, because we're getting close to time, I want to do.
We can't keep doing and interrupting the fights, or else this
Yeah.
will take
Okay, you're
forever.
I want to do a little
Go for it.
kind of. We're gonna kind of denouement at this point.
All right.
So, Quinn, as you return to the stands and join the rest of your unit, you hear the crowd just erupt, roaring, applauding, excited, as a brawler class Titan, or a brawler class mecha, as well as another Titan chassis, enter the battlefield. And the announcer comes over and says, "The first fight of your defending champions! Welcome! The Epochs!" And like everyone just kind of just goes absolutely wild as this brawler chassis kind of beats their chest and puts their hands up in the air. Yeah, crazy. Yeah. And as you do so, you all have to stand up at this point because everyone in the stands is on their feet, just absolutely losing their minds over this fight. And you see that where you had quite a bit of issue taking down this Titan class.
Fucking JD.
This brawler comes out of the stands, and as soon as the round begins, just charges straight in at this Titan chassis, pins them up against the wall, and just waylays one hit after another, not even allowing the Titan chassis to have any hope of counterattacking. The Titan chassis gets one good hit in and pulls them back, but they just charge back in right again. And soon there are just parts of this chassis being ripped off, this Titan just absolutely torn to shreds. And within minutes, the battle is over. And the Brawler class Titan, or the Brawler class Mecha, has won. And as the Ryu sisters come out of this mecha, they look up, and it almost feels as if they're looking directly at you, issuing a challenge. Yeah. You're also muted, just FYI. And with that, they walk off of the field and find their place in the stands for the next couple of fights.
They don't want to fight me. I'm crazy.
Well, that's not my
And
bad.
they've taken notice. And they have taken notice. And you can tell that you have piqued their interest. So.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not gonna hit it.
Yeah. Do it.
Oh yeah.
So.
I think I'm in love.
So with that, we're gonna go ahead and end the session, and we will pick up with the rest of the tournament at the beginning of next session. So,
All right.
So far we've got Lightryder is 1-0 and Quinn is 0-1 as of right now.